All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harukakodash. We want to give double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth, and to you sincere Akim throughout the four winds of the world, prophesying in this truth, in all truth and sincerity. All right, we're here another day in Babylon, or here in Las Vegas, and the smear campaign, the slander campaign against the Israelites has begun. All right, we're entering in Jacob's trouble. And why is that? Because the truth is coming out about who the so-called white man is in his history. Okay, because he's done nothing but rape, rob, and murder you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans here on this sign. Okay, and he's done any and everything to try to cover that up, but it's being revealed in these last days. All right, and the men of the Lord, the men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, are standing on their feet and telling this devil to his face that his kingdom is going down and he's going into slavery. All right, and we're doing nothing but reading out of the Holy Scriptures, the same book that you enslaved and indoctrinated our people with for over 500 years here in this country. All right, get that Wisdom of Solomon 5.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. Then said the righteous man standing in great boldness.
That's right. We're standing here in great boldness. All right. No other people, no other men in America are standing in great boldness and telling this devil to his face. Your pork chop eating pastors. All right. Your Catholic Church, Islam. No one's doing that, but the men here standing throughout the four winds of the world in this correct doctrine. Go ahead.
Then the righteous man stand in great boldness. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him.
And who has afflicted our people? All right. Of course, we've done some of it to ourselves because we went off following after these false doctrines, false gods. But the main culprit, the main person is afflicting us is the so-called white man. Who done this? All right. Who brought us over here on cargo slave ships? Not just the Negroes too. All right, the Northern Kingdom, the Latinos, the so-called Native Americans.
Yeah,
all right.
They brought themselves over here. When you got here, you enslaved them the same as the Negroes that you brought over here.
That's right. Okay. And they were shipped back over to Europe to be handmade slaves. Yep. All right. They were some of the Native Americans were shipped down to the West Indies to be slaves also. Yep. All right. Those first slaves that came over were some of them, not like it. The ones down in Brazil were shipped back over to Portugal and Spain. Yep. All right, so yeah, they went on slave ships also. All right, and all by the hands of the so-called white man. Those conquistadors, those are Edomites also.
Right. And made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
And Esau's seeing it right now. That's why Esau's in terrible fear. Esau sees his kingdom coming down. That's why he's pushing this hate that we got this hate doctrine. We hate. The Bible clearly says, the Most High hates Esau. All right? The Most High hates wickedness. Okay? Esau is the border of wickedness. The Bible clearly says that. Okay? So we're not doing nothing but reading out of the Bible. All right, and Esau is fearing because he sees the people standing up. He sees the Israelites, all right, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans coming out of that sleep. You're seeing them, being conscious, all right, of who's doing this and who has done this throughout history.
Go ahead. There's a slave revolt going on. This man is upset about it.
It's
spiritual slave revolt. Why? Because he sees spiritually his slaves, because we're still slaves to him physically, but spiritually seeing us raising up and gathering up together to chant this place down, to prophesy his downfall. And the numbers are just growing and growing and growing to the point it's getting out of control for him. He can't deal with it no more. He's like, I gotta do something. The prophecy's about to be fulfilled if I don't do something about it. But it's gonna be fulfilled anyway.
I got a quick pre. This is on Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
That's right. We're standing on our feet right now. All right. And we're in that third day. All right. We're in that third day. So you see Israelites waking up. All right, waking up to their nationality, waking up to who they really are, not calling themselves black, which is a color, not calling themselves Negroes, colored one, Puerto Ricans, Cubans. All these bywords that the so-called white man has put on our people for so long, they're waking up out of that sleep. They're sobering up. All right, to Esau's BS.
I was gonna say, as well as discovering that the so-called white man is Esau or the wicked and the wicked according to the Bible. Okay, that's the physical counterpart to Satan and the devil according to the Bible, and he's fulfilling that.
If I may say, basically, the moment Jacob started to wake up was the beginning of Esau's downfall.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, his ending is going to be our uprising.
That's right.
That's why it says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that follows. Okay? The moment we started to wake up, the moment the Lord returned his breath back into those dry bones, that begun the beginning of the end of the so-called white man and his empire.
That's right.
All right? And that's what we're living in right now, and that's why great fear is coming upon it. All right? So it's back.
I'm gonna start at verse 2. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. I got a slide because when you look in the faces of these so-called white people that walk around town and see the prophets out there on the street, they have fear, but they don't show it because they don't feel a physical fear approaching it. Well, it's gonna get physical when Yahweh Shah comes back. Okay? When he comes back and sets the world in order. We ain't gotta do nothing. We're harmless as doves up here. All we gotta do is speak this word, and everything's gonna be fulfilled.
Yep. Right.
Shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
All right, they're not going to believe that we're the children of the Heavenly Father. Those people you call niggas, spicks, all kind of bywords. Yeah, we're those men. We're Yasharallah. We're princes of the power. All right, but they're going to be amazed. They're going to be amazed that your boss that dogged you. All right, all those Edomites that treated you like shit throughout your whole life. They're going to be amazed that we are the people. We are those men. Lord willing, we're part of their elect.
And if I may say, especially when the deliverance happens.
That's right.
That's when they're going to get to see the Israelites who they oppressed for so long and who they enslaved, who they oppressed, who they took their identity from. When they finally see the gathering of these people, when the Lord comes back with that divine intervention to deliver them with a divine delivery, that's when they're going to actually witness the mass exodus.
Right.
That's when they're going to be like, wow, and it's going to be like, damn, this is playing out again. History repeating itself.
Yeah.
These were the Israelites, just like going back to ancient Egypt. They're going to realize we were those people.
Hey, but you ain't going to be able to chase us this time.
Oh, no.
When we're going, you can't chase us this time. Verse 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach.
Yep, we're a proverb of reproach to you Edomites, all the nations really, but mainly Esau, Edom. All right, we was nothing to you guys. All right, we was nothing but slaves. That you once had us in that position. All right, the Lord raised you up to be where you at, and then He's gonna bring you right back down to the caves where you belong. But you're gonna be living in pits in the kingdom.
We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
Salah. That's what they think now.
Yeah.
That's why they putting all this footage out there to demonize the Israelites. They thinking that this smear campaign that they're doing, they think that we're gonna all of a sudden, because of their manipulation and their lies, that this whole gathering is just gonna just dissipate, like it's just gonna
fade away.
It's just gonna fade out,
like it's a fad or something.
Right.
This is our heritage. This is what we was born to do. Like it says in Jeremiah 1:5. I knew thee in thy belly. All right. So the men that you see before you, this is what we were born to do. We don't know how to stop, until the Heavenly Father comes back through your Son, Yahweh Shai, to redeem us.
Right.
This is our purpose.
Verse 5. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints.
Right, the saints are the Israelites.
Cleansed.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, actually, someone get that. That second Ezra 6 and 28.
This is Philippians chapter 1 and verse 14. It says, and many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear.
Without fear, that's right. We're speaking this word without fear. We don't fear. The Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear. All right? We know what we can do to us. You can kill these fleshly bodies. Someone get to Matthew 10. I think it's 28. Robert Shaw. We know that you want to kill us, but the Lord won't let you. The Lord won't let you touch us until His work, His will is done. And we know it's going to be martyrs, and we know we have to go through the hour of temptation. We know we have to go through Jacob's trouble. We know this, but we don't fear. We're going to speak these words, continue to speak these words until this place is dissolved. All right. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what this devil is witnessing, and all throughout the world. It's eating them inside. That Jake, who's been beat down in society for so long, we had for so long we had low self-esteem. All right,
confidence.
We have no confidence because we've been considered low people in the eyes of the nations.
Second-rate citizens in here.
Considered less than human, 3/4 of a man. You know what I'm saying? 3/5 of a man. You know. So now that we're out here and we're speaking boldly and we're saying things that 50 years ago you wouldn't have even thought that a person on this sign would even be able to speak without getting their head blown off, without getting lynched, without getting burned to the stake. But the fact that it's a mass number of us that's doing this is what's putting fear on Esau, man. Oh, these niggas ain't afraid. They out here really, they ain't scared. They're willing to die out there for their God. And that's what's getting to these devils, man. So you know what? We can't just be too obvious and just come out and just start killing them. Let's edit videos. Let's put words in their mouth. Let's control the narrative.
Let's paint this wicked militant picture of these men. All right, they're we're gonna say we rapists and
they're gonna call us
all kind of stuff. We're gonna be terrorists. We're gonna be everything in the book to demonize us, really to demonize Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's what they're gonna do. All right.
Oh God.
You have something?
I mean, if you think about it, and this was they did this to a devil, David Koresh.
Yep.
Before they used the ATF to go up in there and fucking roast them in that compound, they had to demonize them in the media first. And then when David Koresh tried to reach out to the media, he wanted to reach out to the press so they could get his side of the story. They cut the press off. They cut all communication off, man. All right, and these were your government doing that to a set of Edomite Christians that were following, they were following, of course, a false doctrine and a false Christ. That was an Edomite. He was a devil, but that just goes to show you Esau, what he does in history. He never left off from that blueprint. Man.
How much more is he gonna do that to us? How much worse?
And we don't care if you cut us off, man, because we mainly concerned about the elect. Once the elect wakes up, then you really see the destruction of this place.
You can do
all right.
nothing.
You can go ahead. Go ahead.
You can do nothing against the truth, only for the truth. The more you do that, the more it's gonna only push prophecy even more forward, which leads to your destruction. I got a quick one to back up what he said about how we speaking boldly. Ephesians chapter 6, we start at 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, for the believers of the Israelites, okay? Because all our people aren't believers.
It said do everything in the spirit. We do everything in the spirit. We always say, oh, that was the spirit, that was the spirit. We're not carnal men, we're carnal men in flesh. All right, Esau wants us to get carnal, so they give us even more reason to come down on us. All right, but we're not carnal men. We're not up here saluting and marching in unison or going to gun ranges and toting guns and none of that shit, man. We know we can't win this fight with Esau being carnal. All right, we have to be spiritual. We're spiritual men up here. And Esau don't understand that.
I was just gonna say, one of you simple Israelites gonna realize that's not gonna get you nowhere, but destroy it. All right? It says, and for me, the utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel.
That's the utterance from the Holy Spirit, the Habakkuk that the Lord has given us. These aren't our words that we're speaking. The Lord is speaking through his men.
2 Thessalonians says, the mystery of iniquity do already work, and that mystery was who is Esau according to the Bible. Well, we know clearly now that it's the so-called white man, the Caucasians. Okay, you prove it with your actions. Your internet has your receipt on all the blood that you just shed in the world, and all the wickedness that you done done. That was it.
Okay, God, get that for me.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 28, and it reads, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which has been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
That's right, the truth is being declared, all right? And we're not saying nothing that's not the truth. All we're doing is speaking through the Bible, and we're showing you, and Esau's so proud, he put it up in images like this. That's how proud he is. He put this, he recorded this in history to show what he did to our people. We're not bringing it out. We're bringing out the wickedness of Esau through his pedophilia, through his homosexual agenda. All right, science. Yeah, his GMO foods. We're bringing all nothing but truth. If it was a lie, it wouldn't
have proof on it.
Exactly, it wouldn't come to fruition. It would just die right there. But Esau's getting mad because we're bringing out the unadulterated truth about him and his history.
This very second, we're standing under chemtrails. Right. Chemtrails, what? It has harmful metals. It comes down to the ground, and it destroys your immune system. Right. That's the so-called white man. That's his doing right there, man. All right, that's one of his devices to destroy people.
Yep.
Specifically our people.
Our people. Yep.
More on that.
No, that was the point.
Ezekiel chapter 35. Start at 2 though. Start at 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Seir and prophesy against it.
And Mount Seir is talking about Esau, Edom. All right, it's not talking about an actual mountain. Okay, Esau is the people that dwelt in Mount Seir during the ancient time. That was their habitation.
Right. And say unto it, thus said the Lord power Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. Hey, the Most High God said he's against you. Okay, and we with whatever he's with. All right. It says, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
All right, and the Most High is stretching out his hand right now with his men, pushing prophecy, edifying, exhorting the brothers. All right, that's how the Lord is stretching out his hand, and eventually he's going to stretch out his hand physically. All right, with the form of those thermonuclear missiles, and with the fire coming from those chariots.
Right. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the sword, by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood.
Yep, and the so-called white man Esau had perpetual hatred for you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and he has an undying hatred. All right, he can't do no righteousness. He can't do no good. He's going to, what is that? Get that scripture. I'll get it. It's in No, it's one in Sirach 14, the 14th chapter. If you do it, yeah.
Yeah, Sirach 14.
I get that.
Like 7. No, he can get it, bro, since you're speaking. Let the brother get it.
Sirach 14:7, and it reads, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
That's right. At the end of the day, he's going to show his wickedness. He's going to show his hatred for you Israelites. All right? If you do something good, if you have a soup kitchen, he giving you GMO foods. He giving you a job. If he give you a job, he's underpaying you. He's going to get over on you any way he can, and he really wants to get the birthright back. That's his main objective. But he know he can't get it. All right?
No, he gonna try. He's definitely gonna try.
Hey, like the current example, they said if he do any good, he do it unwillingly. But at the last year, he would declare his wickedness.
Yep.
Let's talk about the government and the fact that he's temporarily opening up until the 15th.
Yeah.
But what they're not going to tell you is, even though they're going to pacify you by giving you a back pay or whatever, the government is still going to shut right back down. This 3 weeks is going to go right out, right through the window.
You're still going to be in that hole.
You're still going to be in the hole.
Yeah.
All right, and he's talking about that if he don't reach that deal, that he can re-shut down the government and impose a national emergency. I don't think I need to interpret what that means.
I don't think I need to interpret the fact that he's going to do it. Why would he not?
It's like you drowning, and then you get that little breath of air. Esau gives you that little breath of air, but at the end of the day, he gonna still drown you.
He gonna jump on you and push you down and stand on you to hold you underwater.
He gonna resuscitate you just to let you die.
Drown you again.
Pretty much.
You have something right now?
Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness.
That's right. Esau can't do no righteousness. His wickedness is righteousness. That's what the Heavenly Father put him forth in the world to be. Wicked. All right? Whether you like it or not. The so-called white man Esau is the wicked that the Bible speaks of.
That's why they always play that victim role, because they act like what did I do wrong? Because it's not in their spirit to understand that what they're doing is wrong. Though they understand, because they write the laws on good and bad, and if we do the things that they do, then we get persecuted all to hell. But they can do it with no persecution, no justice. What they do, but justice is coming.
In the land of uprightness he will deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord.
Yeah, he's in Salakia. He's in the land of uprightness now. The land of Israel. What is he doing over there? Kosher and pig.
Kosher pig.
Nude beaches.
Homosexuality.
Big city Tel Aviv. They turn
homo parades.
They turn into an actual Sun City, man. He ain't gonna learn righteousness, man.
Spreading herpes to babies and shit.
Mutilating them with circumcision through their mouths. Giving them infections, diseases.
That's not in the scriptures, man. They don't follow the Bible. They follow Kabbalah and Babylonian Egyptian Talmud. That's what they do, man.
I got a quick read real quick. Jeremiah 13 and 23. It says, can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may you also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
And Esau tried to do that in the ancient world when he got with the Canaanite woman. He tried to get his pigment back. He tried to change his stripes. Try to mingle his seed with the darker races. Like he tried to mingle his seed with the Israelites to try to get the birthright back. You can't change. Your wickedness is going to be revealed at the end of the day.
And like the elder said, he said Esau is not going to understand what he's doing. But it's basically us trying to bring out to our people that he's the enemy, man. That's what we pretty much out here doing, and it was supposed to Esau. But our people got to wake up and realize that. All right, if you don't, you gonna face the same destruction as the so-called white man gonna get all over.
Yep, that's right. And like you said, he's not going to understand because Esau, what Scripture says, children rule over them. Esau's mentality is of a child that don't know that really can't decipher right from wrong. Right. All right,
but he naturally knows wrong.
Yeah, he's just a base man. All right, he's like, you know, he just can't decipher.
Can't get right.
Yeah.
Hey, like the New York governor that passed that abortion law.
Oh yeah.
This motherfucker's a Roman Catholic, so they act like they got some type of morality, and because he saw that the Pope came out and basically spoke against the death penalty.
Yeah.
So a criminal should be worthy of being when you in the court of law, basically when you're not found guilty, exonerated.
Yeah.
So basically a criminal that could be worthy of death may be exonerated, but if a child that's forming in the womb of his mom, if it gets all the way up into the time that it's getting ready to be incubated, which that child is alive, it's a life in that womb.
Science proves that.
According to this law, you have a right to abort that child. You can commit murder on an innocent child that haven't grown up to do anything, but yet a criminal, if he could do something worthy of death, but according to the Pope, he should be allowed,
or you can stay on this road,
to have his life restored. So that goes to show you that Esau has a moral hypocrisy. That's why you can't allow such a devil to dictate what's moral and what isn't.
Right.
Because he doesn't understand righteous morality. It's not in him. You know?
And I wonder who that law is. That law is mainly to kill off Israelite babies.
Yep.
All right? Because Esau ain't killing on no Edomite babies because they know their numbers are dwindling through the opioids, the fentanyl, and just
No fertility.
Yep, and just the curses being turned transferred on them. So they're going to try to do whatever they can to keep their seed alive. Okay? But this is mainly, just like the Planned Parenthood and all that shit, that's nothing more than just one of those more Esau's devices.
It's a eugenics program.
Yeah. They try to kill you Jake's off, man.
So it's perfect. I go right back to this. We read Ezekiel, back in Ezekiel 35, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and like all the things the brothers just named, whether it's cops shooting us down, whether it's Planned Parenthood, whether it's the chemtrails and barium oxide, whether it's stress, whatever the living conditions are that our people have to go through, this man shows his perpetual hatred for it. Right? Ongoing hatred. He said, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, the time that the calamity is when the Heavenly Father was completely removed himself from around us, where he wasn't intervening and guiding us anymore, where he let us just
took away our might.
Took away everything that we had, our might. Exactly right.
Yep.
Exactly right.
That was when we was on punishment, the iniquity of Zion. We were suffering punishment for our forefathers. Man. That's why it tells you in Baruch 3 and 8. We are yet this day in our captivity. We are yet this day in our captivity. We're subject unto payments according to our fathers. By the time that time was up, Esau continued to perpetually show his hatred. That's why as soon as we supposedly left slavery, which they tried to say that we were emancipated or freed from slavery, but that's not what happened.
Emancipation is actually kind of close to what the truth was. We were translated into another possession.
From the private sector to the public sector. And that's what Esau was supposed to let us, really let us free.
Yeah.
But he kept us with his foot on our neck, man.
We're supposed to be free in 1865.
If I may say, a lot of like these type of pictures, everything that you see, like
that was
that book, what was that?
I got it right.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, he got it.
You got that? Yeah. All that was post-slavery.
Post 1865.
Post-slavery.
The times.
God, Emmett Till, that was in the 60s. Okay, all these photos, this is post-slavery, right?
Devil's punch bowl.
Yeah, the Devil's Punch Bowl, Fort Pillow. You have the East Detroit Massacre,
Look at that.
you know?
Black Wall.
That's 19.
Black Wall
That's
Street.
1911. The times.
God.
Like the 30, 40 years after slavery, that was damn near worse than slavery. Look at that. That's 1926. All that happened after slavery, when Esau was supposed to let us free. But you niggas are still under the curses, and you're still under the foot of Esau, man. And the Lord's gonna start killing a lot of niggas until y'all wake up, man.
That's right.
Whether you like it or not. You know, so you niggas can still be lost and sleep and follow after Esau, but you're gonna get the same judgment as him. Thermonuclear fire.
Right.
All right? Or you're gonna get trotted down the street by martial law troops with your damn Nikes on.
Getting back to the abortion thing, they did that in ancient Egypt, man.
Yep.
You know, and this is modern day Egypt pursuant to Revelation 11 and 8.
That's right.
You know? Exodus 1 and 16. I'm gonna start at 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives. You know what a midwife is? They assist in childbirth. Of which the name of the one was Shifra, and the name of the other was Pua. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, which is the Hebrew Israelite women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Because why? Because the son, the male, they're the progenitors, man.
Yep.
All right, because the seed goes through the father.
That's right.
The seed goes through the male. So that's why they said kill the son, man. Because they didn't want Israel to be fruitful and multiply, man. All right, that's why they said kill the son and let the daughter live, because the daughter don't carry seed. All right. That's what they do, you know, the Planned Parenthood, you know, the eugenics program, you know. So that's Esau having the same spirit as the ancient Egyptians, man. You know, they don't want us to have a testosterone.
Yeah, they don't want us to be masculine.
Right.
All right, this attack on masculinity right now.
Exactly.
That's the type of devil we dealing with. He wants to be masculine, but don't want the real men to be masculine. All right, you want everyone to be a damn freak, man, or no gender and all kind of wicked ass shit like that.
Yeah, because masculinity it's in the male spirit. That,
Yeah.
You know, if he's been done wrong, if he's been kicked in the ass so many years, you know that masculine spirit is gonna fight against that, man.
Yeah.
Fight against that oppression, man.
But just to say, we're gonna do it spiritually. All right, we're gonna fight against it spiritually. We not, because Esau's waiting for these little sound bites to say we're gonna get physical, or we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. We ain't gonna do nothing. We have no power here. All right, the Heavenly Father's gonna. We just ground troops doing exactly. And the Lord's coming back with the chariots, the host of heaven, with the archangels to take this place out and take Esau out of his power seat.
I got two more accounts.
So like, can you jump up to verse 12?
Exodus chapter 1, verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
That same sentiment that the ancient Egyptians had, Esau has that. Them niggas are multiplying. Everywhere we go, we can't escape niggas, man. You go to the suburbs, you still gonna have some niggas there that made it. They done hustled their way up and made it out the hood and living among them. All right, you can even go to Dubai. You see Jakes out there partying and drinking wine. We all over the place.
We all over, and Esau wants to kill us off, but you still got the confusion of faces. You know, you got the northern, speaking of the northern kingdom, they everywhere. You know,
that's why you want to put up that wall.
Yeah.
Don't come up here. I got two more accounts about the so-called white man killing us off like that. Our babies
My bestie,
to keep the
how would I
numbers
know
under
how
control.
fun?
This is the first Maccabees, chapter 1. I'm going to start with verse 60. It says, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. And that was another time in the time of the Greeks that happened.
And those are Edomites. So they're going to try to do the same thing today. All right, they're going to try to roll on us like a flood. We're going to kill our babies. All right, and you know, the elect is going to be protected, but you niggas out there, they're going to kill your baby just like it did in the ancient times. All right, but if they talk about killing Edomite babies, it's going to be an outrage. But you Jakes and Esau don't give a shit about y'all, man. And y'all need to realize that, man, because we get like, what was that lesson we just did? The gates is closing. The
Doors of mercy.
doors of mercy are closing.
And was this with the brothers reading Fox News?
Right.
Yeah.
Is this hate? Isn't this hatred?
Yeah.
This is physical hatred.
Isn't that hatred?
This ain't hate speech. This is physical hatred.
Well, this is so-called white history.
Yeah.
Y'all acknowledge that
Y'all Greeks.
y'all were the Greeks. When you say salvation, civilization began with the Greeks. When we're reading the Greek history, your Greek history is violent history. Act of hatred, bloodshed, violence. Much like how America was founded.
It said, and evil will multiply. Will multiply upon the earth. When society did begin civilization, so to speak, began a time of decrease. Hey, you're right, the wickedness. Now this is in the book of Matthew, and now that was the Greek captivity that we were in. Now here goes the Roman captivity that we're in, okay? This is Matthew chapter 2. This is where I should start. I'm going to start up at verse 8. It says, and he sent to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when they have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him also.
He's talking about your outside.
Right.
King Herod was trying to be slick because he wanted to come basically kill the Messiah, kill Yahweh Shai. All right, and that's just Esau. You doing what he does best. You know, words are smoother than butter, but war is in his heart.
Right. He said, and when they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. Let me jump down. Verse 11, it says, and when they were coming to the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of the Most High God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed their own way in their own country another way. And when they were departing, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, the angel saw that the Most High could read into the minds of people. Okay, he's a discerner of the thoughts, and his word is also a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Okay, so he could see that that Herod was being slick. He was going to try to find the child so he could kill him. All right, it said, when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there unto the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the Lord of the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son.
So if they was gonna kill the Messiah,
The next verse. I was like, man. So then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, he was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently acquired of the wise men. that was the same Planned Parenthood. Kill off these babies.
You gotta envision it, man.
Yeah.
All right, like Esau coming into your neighborhood, and all of our the so-called black Hispanic. Well, really, at this time, this is when the kingdom of Judah was in the land. So imagine Esau troops coming into a South Central or Brooklyn or wherever, was predominantly Negroes. Harlem, Detroit, and all basically busting into every house where you have a pregnant so-called black woman. She's pregnant with her child. Imagine these troops, Esau sending troops, to go up into each and every household with a pregnant black woman, and Esau basically putting a woman and her child to death.
Pregnant or 2 years,
or you got
at least 2 years.
or you have a 2-year-old boy.
Yeah, 2-year-old boy.
You have a year-old boy or a 2-year-old boy, and basically Esau kills him and you. And if the father's home, he gets killed too. So just imagine that, man. The cries, from our women, screaming and crying, begging for mercy, on their knees, knowing like, man, they about to come and kill us. Just picture that, man.
You gotta realize that was Edomite, King Herod. He was gonna kill the Messiah. All right? He was gonna kill the son of the living power. So how much more you niggas? What do you think Trump was gonna do in these times we're coming in? He gonna kill your babies too.
But you know what? he has it now to where he has it do it yourself. He got it do it yourself killing.
God.
Or basically the moms can kill their own child. He ain't got to kill him.
Yep.
Just go over to the abortion clinic, and they're gonna put that damn vacuum suction.
Yeah, they cut the baby up first, then
Right.
Chop it up and then they pull it out.
But they use it when the baby tries to fight and cling on. They'll try to use it to suck them out, and then they start cutting into it.
I've seen that footage of an X-ray of that baby fighting, trying not to get stabbed, trying to dodge and all of that, man. Hey, man, that does something to me.
And I'm pretty sure Esau got some kind of program where they get money.
They do.
They get some kind of incentive or something
They do.
to do that, man.
They pay that. They pay that. Now the corporate, the Planned Parenthood themselves gets money, and the government somehow gets money through them. But also they sell the fetuses and put them in your Pepsi Cola and different other things that they sell that too.
They do
you
it for,
drink it and eat it.
Put it in like
Sickle
they
cell.
send it to like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Stem cell, yeah.
Stem cell research,
Stem cell
all of that,
research,
and they pay for that. Okay, with the free carcasses of your dead babies.
This man's diabolical. I got to Psalms chapter 10, verse 2. The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and bless the covetous, whom the Lord abhors. The wicked.
Well, I say, let him be taken in the devices that he imagined. See, that idea, which we just went into the history, that's not really an old concept of putting babies to death to keep a population from multiplying. But that idea came back through this Edomite devil, Margaret Sanger. And she hated niggas. And she felt that because if we want to prolong a superior race, we got to get rid of the inferior. So she set up a Planned Parenthood and basically made it available for Negroes, so that the black woman can start aborting her children.
Civil rights. And something else she did was she empowered women first to make that decision without their husband.
Women's live.
With liberation. She's the foremother of that too.
That's right.
So she did both to kill you, Jakes.
To destroy you, man. And we saw what it resulted in. Jake. A lot of Jakes were dying, but guess what? Jake has multiplied since. As many as these babies that the so-called black woman is killing, you still have a great number because If Jake ain't putting his seed up in Eve, he's putting it in the Edomite woman, the Moabite woman,
Kush.
Cush. He's spreading his seed elsewhere, man. So the Lord got it to where we're going to be prolonged and multiplied anyway. Okay? And guess what? The tables have turned because now your population is being reduced. All right? Now you're on the decline, man. Okay?
Israel's the sand of the sea. Israel can't be numbered.
You thought you was going to have us in that snare, but you put yourself in that snare.
Like real quick, just to quote with the scripture, we just read in Exodus a little higher than with the last verse that you read in there. It said he made it to serve with vigor, but we continue to keep multiplying them. No matter how much you oppressed us harder and harder, we found comfort in creating babies, man. That's what our people do.
Psalm chapter 10, verse 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart desire and bless the covetous, whom the Lord abhorred. The wicked through his pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
And that's this devil all the way, man. Because he's in a position of power. He act like he don't even care if you know that he lies. He doesn't care, man. All he understands is, hey, I got control over your media. I got control over your history. I can rewrite your history. Okay, I can always control the narrative, so I can say what the hell I want to say, and what you're gonna do about it, you know. So that's why that's that pride that's within him, and he think that he's never gonna have to answer for that.
Hey, and right now he does have that power for now, but we're turning the tide with the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Sound, showing him himself, and then he's not prospering in his lies and philosophies anymore.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He does catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
That's the snares, the traps, different systematic ways that Esau traps Jacob, you know, to get them, you know, locked up, get them put to death, you know,
Get them in that system, you know.
yeah. Let's give their women birth control, which really birth control was originally intended to be race control. That's what that's about. Let's make sure they don't have as many children as they can. You know? So these are all different tools that Esau has used against our people as a weapon. All right? But even through that, we still been preserved through it, man. You know, we're gonna come out the victor out of all this, man. You know? Yeah, Issachar, they I already know. Hey, feel free if you wanna, you know, if you wanna say a few words. You're probably like, man, I don't really want to deal with this, man.
Jake is through. You know, Esau's through too.
If you want to cuss them out in Spanish, then go ahead, do what you gotta do. You know?
Yeah, more.
They were a bit rough, man.
And you see they can't walk regular no more. Their pace is off, man.
Psalms 10 and 10. He crouches and humbleth himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
Yeah, he acts, the so-called white man acts humble and wants you to feel sorry for him and wants you to have sympathy for him. Like he been through some shit. You know, like, you know, oh, look at me. Look, you know, what did it say? He saw carefully with tears.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always plays the victim. What about the Holocaust of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans?
That's the real Holocaust.
You know? But they don't want to bring that out. They want to, I think yesterday or the day before was National Holocaust Day. What about the hundreds of millions of Native Americans that died by the hands of the so-called white man through the Indian Removal Act?
Done.
Through all kind of
by the Indian killer.
yeah,
Andrew Jackson.
And they commemorate it with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is nothing but a celebration of a killing of the tribe of Gad. And they did it every time, and you gotta understand the history behind it. Every time there was a Thanksgiving feast, they were celebrating the slaughter of a Native American tribe. They had maybe 15, 20 Thanksgiving feasts in a year. And then they made it a national holiday. No, not national. Then they made it a yearly, an annual event. And then your beloved Abraham Lincoln, who you niggas like to say did something for you, freed you, he made it a national holiday. So, go ahead.
Verse 11, he has said in his heart, the Most High has forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, the hearts of the sons of men are fully set in them to do evil. And we gonna, that man, cause you people think you ain't gonna get no payback. He gonna get you, he ain't forgotten.
If the Most High forgot, we wouldn't be out here doing what we doing.
Right. Hey, it was only yesterday.
Jesse Waters, I think that was his name.
Waters. Yeah.
Jesse Waters, when he asked the Israelite, that Israelite on Fox News, he said, so basically, should I pay for what my great grandfathers did? Yeah. Well, according to the scripture, the Lord, he says he requires that which is past. When you read Ecclesiastes 3 and 15, he requires that which is past, man. You know. Hey, get Psalms 109 real quick. 109 and 14.
Psalm chapter 109 and 14. And it reads, let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord.
Woo!
Yeah.
Read that one more time.
That's an answer to your question. Jesse Waters. The Bible just said it. Read that again, bro.
Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord.
Now, what is your father's iniquity? We got the visuals. We got the facts of what your fathers did. This was iniquity. Okay? That's your father's iniquity, which you're still benefit from to this very day. Okay? And we need to get some stuff with Gad.
Yeah, I know.
We'll put some posters up with Gad too.
Yeah,
Northern Kingdom. It ain't just with Judah, all the tribes.
Yeah, all the tribes.
Everything that you've done to all of us.
Yeah, because we always, when we hear slavery, they always think of Judah. All right, slavery. The Northern Kingdom was with the slavery also. It just wasn't as documented as the slavery of Judah.
And we got the books.
Yeah.
I think I got the book in my bag. I think I got it in my bag.
We did a lesson on that, man. Yeah. We actually went live and did a lesson on it because the elder Malcolm in Chicago, he actually brought the information out. And brother went and ordered it. They sent them 2 copies. Yeah. He only ordered 1. So we took one and we took some of that information and went into it.
And you look
Gad suffered the same slavery that Judah did, man.
And they were having slave revolts in the Central America, South America. Yep. So they have slave revolts. They were slaves under who? The conquistadors, Edomites, the Portuguese. Those are Edomites too. All right, people think it's Spanish. They think it's just the Latin tribe. No, them is Edomites. They just mingled their seed with our people and gave us that bastard language, Spanish, which a lot of the northern tribes speak, and the Brazilians speak Portuguese. All right, you got the I forgot what country where they speak Dutch down there also. No, I want to say it's by Suriname.
Somewhere in South America.
They speak Dutch. That tells you that our people were conquered and gave us, that's in the curses that we will be scattered to another land speaking a foreign language, foreign tongue.
I got that secular history what you was just talking about. This is the other slavery, the uncovered story of the so-called.
Show the book again.
Yeah. This is the book right here. Andres Resendez. And this is just the introduction. On page 3, it says the Mormons became buyers and even found a way to to rationalize.
The Mormons,
Edomites.
Edomites, which that devil Glenn Beck, I believe he's a Mormon. All right, he just recently came out and tried to put something up about the demonized the Hebrew Israelites. Well, those morons that you see riding on those bikes, all right, trying to convert you to Mormonism, you know, the Church of the Latter-day Saints, okay, with the testimony of Joseph Smith, who was a damn devil. Well, those same devils, they were enslaving Gadites. But what's funny is the Mormons actually believe that they're the Israelites. That's what's
They
crazy.
believe they're the Northern Kingdom.
They believe that
the
they're
tribe
part
of
of,
Joseph.
that the Native Americans are part of the Northern Kingdom, but yet they were enslaving them.
Gad, you say that. Well, I'm Native American. No,
Yeah, they're trying to blend in with it.
yeah.
And then you got the simple as defeated as Native Americans that actually allow it. They marry in with them. They allow their daughters to marry Esau and have children with them. That's why you get a lot of these Edomite looking Native Americans. A lot of them are tares, man. But then you have the actual Native Americans, man. You know. Go ahead, Lon.
It says Mormons became buyers and even found a way to rationalize their participation in this human market. Talking about the selling of the Northern Kingdom, Gad. And going down to the next paragraph, it says Columbus's very first business venture in the New World consisted of sending 4 caravels loaded to capacity with 550 natives back to Europe to be auctioned off in the markets of the Mediterranean. Others followed in the admiral's lead: the English, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese.
These are all so-called European nations, which that was Esau that came and inherited those lands. All right, and this was after the fall of the Byzantine Empire. That's how they got the claim of those European countries, which fulfills prophecy of the beast coming back.
Right.
1,000 years.
Beast resurfacing back on the scene, man. Go ahead, Al.
Portuguese all became important participants in the Indian slave trade. It says Spain, however, by virtue of the large and densely populated colonies it ruled, became the dominant slaving power. Indeed, Spain was to Indian slavery what Portugal and England were later to African slavery, or so-called Negroes. Now it says Indian slavery never went away, but rather coexisted with the northern or the southern kingdom slavery from the 16th all the way through the 19th century.
They don't tell you that because Esau's plan is to keep us divided, divide and conquer, keep us apart. It was Native Americans right there, right in the slave, in the plantations with Judah. Yeah.
And then some of the slaves in the South, when they would escape their plantation, they were won over to Gadites, and the Gadites would actually take them in, and they would make Jake serve them, but it would be in a brotherly way, like how the scriptures say. Even in the law, you are allowed to have other Israelites, if you was an Israelite, serve you.
Yeah.
But you couldn't. But it was a certain way you went about it. You didn't treat them like a second-class citizen or like a heathen.
Or brutal. You didn't treat them brutally.
You didn't treat them brutally, man. So that's how when they try to tell you that, oh yeah, the Native Americans, they enslaved blacks too. But some of them, they were Uncle Toms and they dealt harshly with Jake. But you had ones that they didn't want to document, where they was actually welcoming Jakes, and Jakes were actually serving them just like how Jacob served Laban for his wives. They was doing the same thing, and then once Jake was working for them, they would actually give their daughters to Negroes, man. That's why you got a lot of dark Native Americans around.
Niggas like Snoop Dogg and them.
Yes.
Yep.
That's pretty good sound right. If you know that old Negro spiritual, swing low, see chariot.
Yep.
All right. Wallace Willis was a Choctaw freedman living in Indian territory. All right. And you look up Choctaw freedmen. Choctaw freedmen were enslaved black people who were emancipated after the American Civil War and were granted citizenship in the Choctaw Nation. Choctaws and the Gadites.
Gadites.
And they even showed you in the movie Birth of a Nation, you know, when Nat Turner basically had he had a bunch of Jakes by the campfire, and he had gathering, showing that it was still peace between the southern and northern kingdom. And this is page 6. It says the indigenous peoples of the New World experienced an even more catastrophic decline in the 16th and 17th century. Native populations were reduced by 70, 80, or even 90% through a combination of warfare, famine, epidemics, and slavery.
They said they were reduced from 80 to 90%.
Yep.
So there's 100 million Gadites. Imagine 90 to 85 million people dying.
Yeah.
That dwindles your weak ass so-called Holocaust numbers.
Yeah.
All right, and that's just one tribe. We ain't talking about the other 11.
Khan.
Yeah.
Khan, and you had
What you did to the Tainos in Espanol, Arawaks, yeah.
Khan, you had a Edomite by the name of Cody Buffalo Bill. You know, and he was basically they say the U.S. didn't sanction what they were doing, but the U.S. supported what they were doing, because what they were doing, they were going around and just and scalping the natives, man, and bringing them back for money.
You killed the buffalo, knowing the natives that was their main source of food. It was probably over a million buffaloes in Northern America.
And they were killing 4,000 to 5,000 or more every month. You know, and they was doing this month after month after month.
And they were getting money. It's like they were getting money for killing those buffalo. And they weren't doing nothing with the meat. They were just killing them.
They wasn't doing that with the fur either. You know, they was just killing them for sport. Because our people had the buffalo as a main source of not only materials but meats.
I was gonna say it was a source of life to the Native Americans. We used it for everything. Food, to build the skins for teepees and clothing, the bones for weapons, you know, all types of stuff. Every inch of that animal was used. You know, and it was a sacred thing.
And they weren't killing them off. They would, we need to kill 2 for this season.
Yep.
Okay, but they would let the animals do what they do. They multiply. So they would have more when the season was up, when they needed more.
And they were killing the older ones.
Yeah.
They were killing the older buffalo that was getting ready to die. As well as, I want to say also, you gotta imagine, to these Edomites, it was easier to kill the buffalo than to kill the Native Americans themselves.
Yeah.
Because they was on you with them arrows, man. You know, they wasn't just laying down.
They was fucking this all up.
Yep.
I got a quick pre-on. Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Okay? And all that took them captives, held them fast. They refused to let them go.
Con, and that cuts you all
Negro.
You all Negro is the 12 tribes niggas, man.
Yep.
He said we're oppressed together.
Israel was the northern kingdom of the Hispanic and Native tribes, and then the southern kingdom of the dark Negro tribes, Negro, West Indian, and Haitian tribes.
And Israelites
so that both kingdoms would be oppressed, meaning they would serve under the same common oppressor.
That's right.
In that same land. Mm-hmm. Babylon.
Another thing, the brother in Hawaii, the boy Howard brought this out, that so-called Puerto Ricans, the tribe of Ephraim, they were shipped over to Hawaii. I forgot when, but they were damn near like slaves over there in Hawaii. So Israel is scattered throughout the 4 winds of the world.
Hey,
all right.
Khan, I was just about to say that, because that's Bruno Mars is Ephraim.
Yeah.
He's from the tribe of Ephraim, so-called Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But I believe he was born in Hawaii. So they try to claim him as his, but he's really one of us, man.
Yeah.
You know?
The Rock, yep. The Rock probably Ephraim. I think it's Judah.
Yeah, his dad looked like a Judah.
So Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there shall serve other gods, neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Fast forward into the New Testament, where you get the whole Gentile thing. That's a curse, man. All right, and our people followed other gods, you know, not knowing our true heritage. All right, that's how you get into the Gentile, man. Gentile state of mind in the New Testament. All right? There's a natural set of Gentiles, which are the other nations. And the Gentiles that's spoken about in the New Testament are Israelites that lost their heritage, man, lost their Israelite customs. All right?
And that's common because if you've been conquered as a people and brought away from your heritage, the person that took you captive and conquered you and colonized you, they're going to impose their philosophy and their gods upon you. That's what happened during the Hellenism of Israel. They forced Hellenism down onto us. If you didn't worship as a Greek, you got put to death.
Yep. Right.
So of course, when Esau came over here with his plantation Christianity, he did the same thing. He pushed it in the Latin tribes' face, and when he brought the Negroes over here, he did the same thing to the Negroes. So now we over here in America worshiping Cesare Borgia. All right, you got a good number of them worshiping cobblestone Islam, and that's the fulfillment of that curse. Okay. People are scattered around the earth
Worshiping all
this bullshit, man.
Haile Selassie, Egyptology, Buddha, like that. That's that nigga Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
That's Jake worshiping Buddha, man. Yep. Hindu. Oh, Baphomet, yeah.
Yeah, man.
All our people into all of this shit, man.
Yeah, they into all the madness, man. And like going back to that history, the fact that they was able to enslave those natives, those Gadites, you don't think that they imposed Mormonism on those Gadites? Just like we got it, they gave us Christianity. You got tribes that's believing in that damn Mormonism bullshit. You know, and Jake do it because they're defeated. You know, all they see is Esau at the top. So whatever he's pushing, that's what they're gonna run with. You know, that's Esau putting the bottle onto his neighbor and making him drunk. With going around basically transgressing by wine. The spreading of his democracy and his religion and his false philosophy. He did that to every tribe on his side when he enslaved them. That's why you got Catholicism heavy in Haiti and parts of South America, because the French, all those Europeans, they were Catholic.
Okay. What movie was that? Bury My Heart and Wounded Knee? Is that the name of that movie?
When they got re-educated.
Yeah.
When they
They took all their customs, all their heritage away from them, and gave them and told them they were these people and this were their customs and live this way. So after generation, they thinking their generation started with what the so-called white man gave them.
And a lot of real quick, and a lot of them fought against it. In the movie, they even showed there were still so-called rebel Native Americans or Gadites that were fighting against that re-education that was happening.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of, like I said, American, but a lot of them consented onto what this white man was doing.
Consented onto his religion.
Yep.
They basically sold out, you know.
Yep.
Just like the time of the Maccabees. Let us go make a covenant with the heathen. There's always some sellout niggas like, you know, they gonna kill us, so, you know, let's just might as well just, you know, get along.
Can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, can't beat them, join them.
This is Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
The only land that we're supposed to know was the land of Israel. But we came over here because we couldn't keep the customs, talking about the northern people. We couldn't keep the customs over there in our land of Israel. So after the Assyrian captivity, we sailed on the ship, we came over here to try to do it, and we couldn't do it well over here either.
We start worshiping the same shit that we was worshiping over there in Egypt. The gods, I mean the sun,
The Hermetic gods.
yeah, the Hermetic gods. That's why, you know, when they talk about pyramids in South America, it's pyramids not just in Mexico. It's pyramids in Belize, Colombia,
Peru.
It's pyramids all throughout the northern, Central and South America. All right, so our people, they basically just went back and began to worship the gods which they knew in Egypt, building those pyramids to the sky, like the Tower of Babel and stuff like that. All those pyramids are down there. But all you hear about is the ones in Mexico. Because the one in Mexico is almost big as the one in Egypt.
That's why the Lord allowed for Esau to come against the northern kingdom and rape, rob, and slaughter them.
Yep.
And enslave them.
I'm gonna read some of this book.
If you want to.
You read that part. African slaves, which consist primarily of adult males, the majority of Indian slaves were actually women and children.
Because they would kill off the men, because they seen the men as a threat, And also when we was talking about the buffalo and things like that, it shows that our people still didn't have a heavy meat diet. Because even when you in school, you taught about what? You talk about hunters, and then you talk about the gatherers, right? Which shows you that it was still balanced. Because even especially in that book, it talks about the physical physique of our people, how nobody was fat, how everybody was healthy. You know how when Esau came over here, the diets that he examined from our people, it was balanced. The three sisters, the corn, squash, and beans, how everything would grow together, everything was in unity and in peace. But as soon as he came over here, diseases spread, and chaos started to be a huge problem because he was killing off our people.
Hey, and he knows to go after the males because Gad, which really all the tribes, but predominantly Gad, they teach their children early. They teach their children how to war. They teach their children how to become handy. They teach their children how to plant, how to till. They also teach them the act of war, how to war, and so also understand who their enemies are, how to hunt. So if Esau didn't, if he spared the sons, then he would have allowed for these natives to grow up, understanding what happened to their fathers. Would have vengeance and wage war against these devils.
It was a show on Spike TV. I don't think they showed it anymore, but it was called Deadliest Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And in that show, I did a video on it, but every time I uploaded, Esau bitch ass took it down. But it was a group of Gadites called the Comanches.
Yep.
And with the Comanches, the man that was from the actual tribe, he said that he got his first ball, I believe, at like 2 or 3. And he was learning to shoot at that age, And it showed you how fierce of a warrior Gad was, man. It showed him on horseback and how deadly they were in combat with that animal.
They could shoot a bow and arrow or throw a spear from a horse.
Bro.
And be accurate.
And they was
I got a script. So Rock 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Yep.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. So that's why when you go and wage war with your enemies, you got to kill off the sons, man.
That's what they did to the Native Americans. Tribe of Gad. They killed off the men, so even if they had seed that was left over, they wouldn't know nothing about it. They wouldn't have vengeance for them because they killed off their father. That goes back to Jeremiah the 17th chapter, saying we lost our heritage. That's how we lost our heritage. A part of it. That's a way we did lose our heritage.
And that show Swamp Wars, I believe it's on Animal Planet. It's on one of those shows, Discovery Channel or something like that. But it's a Gadite man. It's a Gadite man down south.
We're from here. We live here.
And there was a Gadite man down south, and basically he had like a little documentary part in the show, and stated how he was part of the boarding schools and how basically he was separated from his family, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, Gad, their mistake was not understanding their enemies, man. Esau came over here and Esau tried to play as if, you know, he's lost and he doesn't know where land he's at. You know, he needs help. He needs to find his way. He's looking for this land or that land. But they knew exactly where the fuck it was, man. Okay? Or else they wouldn't have came with Hebrew interpreters.
Yeah.
They knew they know that the northern kingdom was over here in the land of Arsene.
I got a preach.
So therefore, Gad, they basically didn't follow what the scriptures say. So Rock 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy.
Yeah.
When Esau came in that crouching spirit, and he showed himself.
Fine.
You know, and now you guys don't have a land. You just got reservations now. You know, trusting in your enemy, man.
And those reservations are the shittiest part of the land.
Exactly.
Only part that Esau makes good on the land is the land that they can build casinos. And you don't even benefit from that. This is get that in Psalm.
Yeah,
I got that in
Psalm 28. Yeah, 28:3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts.
That's right. That's the same thing they did to the Native American Indians. They did to they did to Native American Indians. They spoke peace, becoming peace. You know, show us how to till the land, show us how to grow crops. All right, but read the rest of it. But what was in their heart?
Mischief.
But mischief was in their heart. How can we? When those first settlers came over here and saw how the tribes were living, it was like paradise.
Right.
They had what is it called, aqueducts, where they filtered the water. It was like they was thinking, how can we fuck these people over and take over?
Take this land, colonize this land, and stake claim to the resources that are in that land.
Yep.
Esau's doing this like right now as we speak. This is what he always, the gold rush. Hey, down there in Puerto Rico, that's why he called it his rich port, because it's full of riches.
All that gold, silver,
you know,
all the natural resources that come from the earth.
And you need that in the water to filter the water. Now this devil took the whole all the metals out the water, and you got all kinds of bacteria and diseases in the water.
You need it in the soil as well. Yeah. Because think all that rich nutrients in the soil also some of the nutrients go into the herbs and plants that you grow, and now you're ingesting it, which helps keep your body keep your body cleansed.
Yeah, because silver kills over thousands of bacteria.
Gold does also pure, but they gotta be pure.
Yep.
That's where you get
colloidal silver and gold. Go ahead.
I got Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and 10. Never trust.
So there's a little more.
Okay,
verse 4 says, it's back in Psalm 28 and 4. Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors.
Yeah, give them. And Esau is going to receive that. You're going to say, give them according to their deeds. What is Esau push? Hate, wickedness, rape, rob, and murder. All right, well, the scripture saying John 10 and 10, the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. So he's going to get the same thing that he put forth. All right, it's not saying, you know, that's what he put forth. That the Bible says that's what he's going to get.
And that's the part that you news media will edit down. Yeah. You don't want to show that part. But your hand is bloody and dirty already, man. You've done your part, and there is a payback or a recompense for the things you've done. But we're not going to physically do it. How about Shimei Shai is going to?
But what they say, we know what they're going to say, right? What about love? Oh, I thought God is all love. You know, you guys push hate. I thought God is, you know, just all love and, you know, and no.
You're not qualified to even use the term. You're not qualified. Don't ever speak that term. Don't ever speak that word, man. You as a nation of people, y'all been disqualified a long time ago to use that term, love. You're not a loving people. Neither do you show love to people, right? All right, everything about you is about hatred. Okay? It plays out in your actions. Look at the condition of the whole entire planet under your management. Would 11 people have done that to the planet? Ask yourself that, man. You got giraffes ending up on the
Endangered species
species list.
Gone, bro.
Bees. You know, whales beaching themselves.
Yep.
Sharks.
There's multiple whales that beach themselves, I believe, down there in New Zealand somewhere.
Oh.
Like on both sides of the island. Man, shit's going on in the world right now. Australia has had some of the hottest summer they having right now. You got bats falling out the trees.
Man.
You got a polar vortex that's about to hit the Midwest. Prophecy is happening. Esau knows it's his end.
Jeremiah 51-25. Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
That's talking about Babylon. That's, the Lord's going to destroy it. Because you are the destroyer of the earth. You Edomites, man. Your American government, you use that. Look. Almost got him out of there. Damn. But Babylon, you have been a destroying mountain on the earth. There's a report that every 11 or 12 minutes, there's a bomb being dropped by the U.S. Military. You know, you're going around destroying the ecosystem. All right, and top it off, you're creating technology that's leading to the furthering of the destruction of the earth.
Hey, I gotta say,
Your 5G technology, you know how many people is gonna drop dead because you're trying to set up that technology on the earth? Radiation, which is gonna cause another cancer everywhere.
Kill off the animals.
Kill off the birds in the sky, man.
Yeah.
You know, you a destructive devil, man. What type of loving man would do such a thing?
Yeah.
Where's the love in that, man?
What type of loving man would put poison in your food?
Well, hey, why don't Fox News and CNN and all these mainstream media news sites, when are y'all gonna protest Monsanto?
right.
All right. When you gonna protest what's the Bilderberg group? Okay. NAMBLA. The Catholic Church. All these different organizations, these different corporate entities that's contributing to the pollution of the atmosphere, your food. Okay. Your ability for your children to develop normally. A lot of foods that our women are consuming is messing with the neurological development of their children.
Monosodium glutamate. Why is that still in food? How is there still monosodium glutamate?
Ain't that a cleaning
Cleaning agent or something like that. Man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
something they put in like Ajax or some shit like that, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, monosodium.
Yeah, man. You even got in all the different cereals, the cereals, they got this chemical called
Glyphosate.
Glyphosate, which is known as it's a pesticide that's known for being a weed killer. They finding traces of that in your children's cereal.
Put that in Cinnamon Toast Crunch, man.
From Roundup.
Isn't that hateful?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You try to eat right. You try to go vegan, right? And a girl I know, she's vegan, and she told me the specific vegan cheese that I got, ingredient in it caused cancer, man.
Yes.
I can't buy vegan shredded cheese no more, man. You know?
Wow.
This fucking man is crazy, man.
And, it's not just what he's talked about doing. He's done these things. This ain't just speech of him thinking about doing it or saying that it was going to be done. He's done these things.
And if and it's a known fact that he's doing these things, knowing that he's doing these things, why are we being questioned? Why are the black Hebrew Israelites, why are they on trial right now? Why are they being interrogated? Why are they being ostracized, man? You know? Why is the smear campaign against us? But we're telling you the direct actions of the so-called white man.
This is why.
And you wonder why we're out here calling you out. You wonder why those HOI was out there cussing out them Catholic devils. Okay?
I got something.
Yep.
Romans chapter 13, verse 10, love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is fulfilled of the law.
The so-called white man done nothing but ill will towards the so-called Native Americans, Negroes, and Latinos. Nothing but ill towards them throughout his whole history, even back in the ancient world, when they was pointing the finger, telling on us to the Philistines. You know, Babylonians, so like, all right, nothing but ill. But that we're supposed to show love. We're supposed to love our neighbor. We're having to love our neighbor. And you Edomites aren't our neighbors. Even 2/3 of our own people aren't our neighbors right now. All right. Only ones that's our neighbors is the hopeful elect, the man that's doing this work, man. All right, so, but now I'm gonna go to this in Amos. Because what about because Esau broke the brotherly covenant.
You want us to love everybody like the image of Jesus loves everybody, but he don't show no love.
This is Amos chapter 1 and 9. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remember not the brotherly covenant. I will send
and remember not the brotherly. I just pretty much read it in the book of Romans. That's it in a nutshell right there.
But I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the places thereof. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever.
You read about that in the book of Ezekiel, the 35th chapter already.
And that hatred was perpetuated throughout generation. Each generation, that hatred plays out. You know, it plays out every time. Esau, basically his descendants, they get the same film that he get. That's why every once in a while you'll see a heavy persecution of Israelites, where the past year, the trend was call the police on every nigga that you see just
doing anything,
minding his business. Call the police on.
Doing anything that you don't like or anything that you feel is not right. Call the police. You told the little girl, you got a permit for selling waters or lemonade. Yeah. Really?
I was gonna say this about call the police. Even Edomite himself said, you only call the police when death is the appropriate response. Because anytime that Negro, Latino, the Native Americans in any a situation with a police officer, it's a very realistic chance that death could come to that situation.
I got it. This is Psalms 55 and 20. He have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He have broken his covenant. You know? Hey, Jacob was at peace with Esau. If you remember when he seen him again, and he fell on his neck and kissed him.
Yeah.
You know? But what happened after? His descendants, every time they were waging war against Jacob. Every time.
And what it was, just me, you know. That's
why you can't really believe Esau when he tried to show you love.
Right.
That kiss on the neck, that's that Judas Iscariot kiss. Man. This is the spirit of Cain we talking here. Okay?
And that's clearly the brotherly covenant in his spirit that he would continually break.
You got something to do?
Isaiah chapter 24 verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languishes and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth is also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore,
and who was the earth given into the hands of? Who's ruling? All right. Who's ruling? Who's in control of these banks? All right. Who's in control of the IMF, the Federal Reserve? Who's in control of the land's resources here in Babylon? All right. Who's in control? Okay. Who's going around trying to dictate policies over other nations? Who's over in Venezuela right now trying to topple the current Venezuelan government so that they can raise up a puppet leader, so they can usurp their imperialism on Venezuela, so they can get their hands on what? On that the oil down there.
Maduro putting tanks at the border, man.
Yeah. Come on.
We ain't about to just lay down for this. Because soon as we turn our back to fight against this puppet leader, and here comes you and your tanks coming. We already know you coming. That's what America does.
Yeah.
And I bet none of that, when the shit go down there, it's not gonna make the big headline news. Because Esau don't want you to know what's going on down there. They don't want to know that you got American troops down there trying to set shit in order for their interests.
Yeah.
Right, let me get this is Daniel 8 and verse 25. And through his policies he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to have this little UN meeting, UN meeting to try to come to a peaceable agreement on the government in Venezuela right now. But really, Esau, he already has it in his mind, the U.S. government. They already have it in their mind that they're going to use a military intervention. And this is something that they've been known to do. Okay? They did it in the past, man. How you think they have a monopoly on the markets or in those the Central American countries? And why those different Central American countries are actually backing the U.S. opposition of the change of government? Yeah. Because the U.S. has power over them. They know that Esau is capable of sending military down there to basically take them out, man. Okay? All you gotta do is just look up the history about the Banana Wars, the Panama Deception. Okay? If Esau sees something that can make him rich and he could get a monopoly on it, he's gonna go for it. If there's people in the way, he's gonna go and get it violently, man.
Get down, lay down, and get
He's gonna slaughter any, just like Christopher Colomb. If he sees natural resources there and he wants that land, whoever's there, you out. He's gonna take you out, man. All right, and that's the reason why Maduro, he knows that's why he's putting basically the Venezuelan military is backing Maduro, man. All right, they're backing, and then you, of course, you got the Russian-Chinese alliance also that's backing Maduro. So that's why they're having this meeting right now, because this is getting pretty thick. These nations are divided over this decision down there, you know. But that's the dissension that Esau is causing right now. That lets you know that he's a wicked, violent man. It was at Micah 2 and 2. They covered fields. They take them by violence. They oppress a man, even his house and his heritage. That's what. Come on, man. That's Esau's. That's his whole forte.
I got something here.
Okay, that's his whole forte, man. Okay.
This is Nahum 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not.
Yeah, this is a bloody city. It shed so much blood, man. And we went into the history of it. started with the Native Americans, and then of course the so-called Negro. All right. So much blood has been shed, and even to this day, it still continues to be shed. All right.
I'm gonna jump down to 4.
Hey, hold on. Make America great again. So, answer this question. How America was established and founded, was that great?
Yeah.
Is that love?
Was that great? At what point in time was this place ever great for the people that was already over here?
Was that love or was that hate?
Right. Was it established and founded with love or hatred? So if you're saying make America great again, what are you really saying here?
What do they have that lullaby that the little kids song in elementary school? This land is your land. This land is mine. This land was made for you and me. No, this land wasn't made for you. You took it. You said that and created that song after you took it from me.
Con.
You know?
And for any of you people that try to say, Esau likes to say, well, that was a long time ago. These same people on this sign are still suffering the effects of what happened a long time ago. And they'll continue to suffer those effects until the Heavenly Father, through His Son Yahweh Shai, delivers us up out of here, man. We're still, and this place was built on, that's why you Edomites are in the position you're in, because of that rape, robbery, and murder. It's not just because, okay, now, are we all one people now, and no.
Put you back.
Yeah. No, it ain't gonna work like that. And Esau know it ain't gonna work like that, because they ain't gonna give, like the scripture say, the kingdom has to be taken by force. Esau ain't gonna give it over.
Hell no.
This is Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yet also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home. Who enlarge?
Right there. He is a proud man, never keep it at home. Just like the Roman Empire, he scattered everywhere in the world trying to conquer everything at once. And that's going to be his downfall. Well, somebody said, start at the top again.
Hey, hold on. They said the same thing about Rome. They said the same thing about the British Empire. They had the saying, the land where the sun never sets
on the
because as long as their territory is being expanded, the sun
never goes away.
It never goes away.
The light doesn't stop shining on that land.
On the lands that they conquered, man. Same thing with the U.S. Okay. Same thing with the U.S. That's how you know that this is the resurfacing of the Roman Empire. Man. So Esau, he wants to colonize and conquer everything. He wants to make everything one for himself. That's what the gathering of the people is about, man. All right, he wants a one world government, not different sovereign governments. He wants one government. Him being at the top, rule of that government.
So he has total control, like he the Most High.
Yeah.
Start at the top again with that.
Verse 4.
Yeah, where you start at?
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
You can't expect him to be a good and moral man, a righteous man. The soul that's in him is not upright.
Lord made us upright.
He made us upright.
Israelites.
He made us upright, but he made him. Yeah, but he continually sought
many inventions.
Hey, but this man was meant to be the damn devil. Already looking for wickedness.
But the just shall live by his faith. Yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
And that's his philosophies. He comes up with these philosophies on how he should be the ruler and how he would do the right thing with these lands and these certain places, but he ain't done the right things. He don't fulfill the right things. He makes you believe that him conquering the Middle East is wiping out terror in the earth. No, you're going around terrorizing the earth. That's what you're really doing. We see through. Yeah?
He is a proud man, neither keep it at home.
The Most High hates pride. And this is a proud man. never keepeth that on. We out there enlarging himself as hell and be great. He's never satisfied. You got the land of Israel. What else you got America? What else do you want?
You got Europe.
What
You got
else
South
do you
Africa. You got Australia.
Man. Yeah, you got
You
all
got Canada.
You got all this, man. What else you want? You
Trying to go
want
to
it all.
Antarctica.
He's trying to go to space.
Yeah.
He wants to rule he wants to rule the heavens too.
Yeah. But all that is him fulfilling the birthright that he got quiet for, that it wasn't prophesied to be given unto him. Okay, that's all that really is.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death.
And enlarging his desire as hell, meaning hell is something that can't be satisfied. So his desires to rule and to conquer and kill and possess and cover
Cannot be satisfied, but gather it unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people.
Yep. That's
One
what
world.
he does.
One world, man.
Under him. And that's his new world order with his mark of the beast. Everyone that's in his system will have the mark, and if you're not in the system, you gotta go.
I got to bring this Nahum, back in Nahum 3, number chapter 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. All right, so that's how Esau. That's how he got the world, through whoredoms, through his witchcraft, through his philosophies, through the wine. All right, with his smooth words, telling you one thing and doing the other. Demonocracy.
Which that's witchcraft in itself. A lot of people don't even know that to inaugurate, the word inaugurate, that goes back to witchcraft. All right.
Look up the word honor.
Man, that witchcraft is why Middle Eastern women are doing porno flicks now, and they ain't gotta wear hijabs no more, and you know,
Twerking on Instagram.
twerk on Instagram. They can fight men now and do all type of shit, man. Following the wine of Babylon.
And them Ishmaelites over there, they hate that shit. They put them some of them females to death, or they scared to go back to their country because they know the consequences. They don't like their women be all whored out and everything. But hey, look who's in control. Esau.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 5, Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness. All right, that's Esau being revealed. All right, your shame. Yeah, Esau's, I'm like it. The men of the Lord, that's what we're doing. All right, we're showing the world through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai your shame, your wickedness. Look, Esau did this. Look what he's doing. And we're not doing nothing but showing what Esau's done and bringing out in the scriptures and prophesying and show you. This is that man that has ruled this world in wickedness, and his time is up. Thus saith the scriptures. Thus saith the Holy Bible.
And the fact that, let's bring out some shame real quick. The fact that the Supreme Court had to come back and ban the transgender being in the military.
Oh yeah.
Why is there even a law on that, man?
Yeah.
For transgenders to be part of your military. Just days ago, the Supreme Court had to basically come back and bring back that ban on transgender serving in the military. You know how bad that looks to these other nations, especially Russia?
Yeah. Russia's putting them homosexuals out there to death. They telling they people, if you got family members that's part of that shit, put them to death. They giving a green light out there. They're not tolerating that shit, but That's shame, like the brother was just saying, of America.
Shame.
Imagine, I got a couple down. Imagine, well, this is how Russia feels, right? Like they're a professional athlete playing against schoolgirls, elementary schoolgirls. Having them do transgenders and all that in the military. Having homosexuals in the military. They're upset about it. They want the battle.
Yeah.
They want the top notch, man. They want the challenger. Because they know they can win against the best. That's how they feel about it.
They feel disrespected. Like,
Yeah.
man, don't even bring this, you know.
Take the sign out right
Take
here.
the sign. Y'all on the
See
side.
if you're on the sign.
Y'all so-called Mexicans?
Mexicano.
Dominicano? Yeah, you on the side.
And that's Biblia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Biblia.
Yeah.
The Israelites.
Son las 12 tribus de Israel.
Es el Antiguo Testamento.
Nuevo y Antiguo Testamento. Yes. Estamos profetizando la destrucción de América. Y estamos exponiendo que el hombre que se llama el hombre blanco, que son los güeros, vienen de Esaú, que son el diablo en la tierra. Y son nuestros enemigos. Nuestros, ¿qué? ¿Donald Trump es tu amigo?
No, no es mi amigo porque no lo conozco.
¿No te quiere a nuestra gente?
Parece que no.
No, es tu enemigo. Él es el diablo en la tierra.
That's right. That's right.
Otra cosa. Esta es una mentira. Eso no es una vida. Esto es una mentira. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, man, it's that time, man. It's that time, man. Northern people gotta wake up too.
Come on, bro. Eso es una mentira. Moreno. Sí. Eso es falso.
Pensé que no tenía.
Es falso eso. Esto está en la Biblia.
Sí, de acuerdo. Eso es falso. No, Jesús creo no tenía. No tiene color.
En la Biblia está su color y está su textura de su pelo.
Lo voy a buscar.
You mean to read it? Revelation.
Sí, ya tomé una foto.
Okay.
Muy bien.
Anybody got the Biblia, Spanish Biblia? I got it. I got the verse.
Mira, se lo va a leer. Se lo va a leer.
You wanna read it for him?
Revelación, capítulo 1, versículo
Get
13.
out of the house shop. Go ahead.
Y alrededor de las lámparas estaba uno como al Hijo del Padre, vestido con un traje largo y tenía oro alrededor. Y en su pecho tenía esto de las 12 tribus. El pelo en su cabeza era como la tela de borrego, como algodón. Sus ojos eran como una llama de fuego. El color de sus pies era como el color del bronce, como si lo hubieran quemado en un fuego. Sus pies era como el color del bronce de la miel. Como si lo hubieran quemado en un fuego. ¿Qué pasa si quemas bronce en un fuego? Se pone más oscuro.
There's some good people that is dark too. Some of the people in Mexico that dark.
Y hay mucha gente en Guerrero, en otros estados de México que son bien morenos.
Pero creo que la escritura no precisamente es que él es negra.
Es negro. Y también en Daniel, capítulo 10.
Creo que no tiene color. Lo que sí sé que es que Dios nos ama a todos.
No, esa es otra mentira.
Dios
No,
nos ama.
Dios no ama a todos. Dios nomás quiere
las 12 tribus. No, Dios es amor.
No.
He said God is love, all love.
Yeah, that's a true statement. But he only has love for
That's what I'm saying.
Sí, él tiene amor.
You gotta get us a Spanish Bible.
Isaiah 45:7.
Dios ama a todos.
No.
Y sus 12 tribus es un pueblo escogido, pero Dios ama a todos.
No,
A
esa es
todos,
una
a
mentira
todos.
de la iglesia.
Como su pueblo no aceptó. No, es lo que dice la Biblia.
No, la Biblia no dice. Enséñame la Biblia donde dice que Dios quiere a todo el mundo.
Them is our people. Them is Latinos.
No, eso lo ha hecho el hombre. Eso lo el mismo hombre.
Eso lo hizo nuestros enemigos.
But they use this.
Si la imagen no importa, ¿por qué los dieron esta imagen?
No sé quién de eso yo no.
¿Quién trajo esta imagen?
No sé.
¿Quién trajo esa imagen?
El hombre ha hecho todo.
Los
El hombre.
conquistadores. El hombre blanco trajo esa imagen a los otros. Nosotros no conocíamos esto. Es una mentira.
Yo tengo otra percepción. Dios los bendiga.
Different thought.
Call Allah Yahabashim Rashad, bro. Call Allah Yahabashim Rashad.
Yeah. It's that time, man. I gotta see it, man.
Hey, but they've been told. They've been warned. We did our job. Rubbed off the hands. But for some, like the son, he might have sparked something. And you never really know.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna look into it.
You know?
I gotta pray. This is Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. So this word got to be preached throughout the world, all languages, all nations, and then the end's coming. So we see the northern kingdom waking up. They're gonna hear the word. It's on them to get it. It's on the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai and hop on them to understand that they are the children of Israel, and to come up out of this mentally, spiritually, of Babylon, America, and its philosophies that's been pushed throughout the four winds of the world. All right? So the gospel is going out, man. And Esau is doing a great job of doing that, putting it on CNN and Fox News. We appreciate that, Esau. You can't do nothing against this truth, but for this truth. Yep. So the more you try to demonize us, the closer you get into your end. What does the scripture say? This tongue shall fall upon him. You talking about Esau?
Fall upon himself.
Fall upon himself. Your tongue is falling upon you, Esau. You're doing that. You're digging your own grave.
I got something. This is Isaiah 28 and 11. It says, "For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith we may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear."
We tried to explain that to him, like, no, this is the right way, this is the right understanding. But he's not the other one. He was uncomfortable with the way that this goes.
He's set in his way.
Yeah.
You older, you have time to marinate in this man's philosophy, man.
Yeah.
He's been his nation was conquered, just like us. So all he know and all he understands is Catholicism and the face that comes with it, which is so-called white supremacy.
He didn't like that.
They all get offended at that. But hey, when you enslave, when you're mentally enslaved, you're not going to understand the things that are outside of the plantation.
Yeah.
You're not gonna feel comfortable outside of your habitat.
Hey, reminds me of that movie Life. When Martin finally drove off to go pick up the other superintendent. And he saw niggas walking around with radios and like, what the fuck? Niggas is walking around free and they running and they're like, what? That's how it is when you get out of the mindset of plantation Christianity. When you come outside of that, you see the truth. The truth makes you free. So you begin to understand the bigger picture more. And then that plantation really looks like something that you just can't go back to. Mentally and spiritually, right? Yeah.
I mean, that's why the Lord, it's really a miraculous thing that we're waking up. And that's the spirit, the inspiration of the Most High that's entering into men. That's because it tells you how after when you go to that the Feast of the Pentecost, after they heard the gospel being spoken in these different languages, man, the Holy Spirit came on those jakes that believed, and they converted immediately. You know? It told you what, 3,000 that first day got converted to the ministry.
Yeah, in Acts.
Yeah. We're in that time again where you're gonna have a lot of Israelites. They're gonna be waking up in masses, man. You know, just by hearing the word come out. And that's why Esau's trying to put a stop to this thing right now. He wanna further hold us from continuing to gather from one end of the earth to the other together, man. You know, the Lord bringing the tribes back. You know, somebody could get up a root. Was that 5 and 5? Baruch 5, and then y'all can get.
I got Baruch 5 and 5. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east. And behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One.
From the west to the east. We're in the western hemisphere right now. Because did not the Lord say that you shall be a witness unto me, even unto the uttermost parts of the earth? We're in the uttermost part of the earth. We're on the complete other side of the globe.
We're like damn near the furthest away from our land, Israel.
But over here, you know, the testimony is coming out. The witness of Yahweh Shai through his word, through the spirit of prophecy, is being witnessed over here. And that's what's gathering the Lord's sheep. All right? He said that he be a witness unto us, even to the uttermost parts of the earth. So now you're seeing Jacob being gathered from the west to the east. The truth returned to Israel, all right, brothers here in Babylon, and then the spreading of the gospel through the help of the unicorn, which is the internet, which is how our brothers on the eastern side, in the eastern hemisphere, woke up. And we're being gathered, man. The Lord is, he's breaking down the breach.
Breaking down the strongholds.
The strongholds. And this is scaring the scaring the piss out of Esau, man.
All right.
You know? This is scaring the piss out of Esau, man. You know? Yeah.
And behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One.
By the word. That's how we all together. That's why we got brothers that connect with us in England, in Holland. All right, we got brothers in
Germany,
Africa,
Philippines,
the Philippines, Mexico. I'm just focusing on the eastern hemisphere. You know, so we got brothers that's connecting on that side, man.
Nobody went over there.
Yeah, the apostles never stepped foot over there to preach the word.
And they're prophesying the downfall of America over there. You know,
same doctrine.
And they're cussing out Esau over there. They're just as bold as we are over here, man.
Brothers in Australia.
GMS Australia, yep. So that, we're this is prophecy playing out. You can't tell me this book ain't real, man. You know?
Acts chapter 1, I'm gonna start with verse 7, and he said of Esau. Neanderthal, man. Yeah.
It's sad though, he used to get that from the niggas. You get that from Jake.
Nigga happy to take that big white bitch here.
Oh.
I got a white bitch.
Big ass load of laundry and shit.
Oh, bro.
Big ass bag of laundry. That's what she
It
said.
said walk around like a beanbag.
Like a melted gallon.
Acts chapter 1 verse 7, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the time or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall, he gave a clue anyway, right? He says, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witness unto me. Go to Jerusalem and and in all Judea and in Samaria and the uttermost part of the earth.
Yep. The uttermost part of the earth. Yeah. All right.
Part that nobody was dwelling at, that's over here. Afterwards. Okay? When never mankind dwelt.
Yeah. Because when you go back to that time in the Acts, the gospel was being spread just throughout
Asia
Judea
Minor.
and Asia Minor, and further east. All right. But when did this testimony become broad on the other side of the world? The tribes, they knew about Yahushua. The tribe that was over here, they called him Quasi-Quadro. And they had other different names for him, man. And they knew he was a dark-skinned man. That's why the Lord said in John 10, there's another fold that I must bring. You know?
I gotta read. This is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 32. Let me start at 30. And I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, and they shall remember the ways their fathers which sinned before the Lord.
They will be refreshed and converted to healed. According to Isaiah. That's the prophecy of us coming back. Okay, and understanding who we are, who our Heavenly Father and our power is, our mediator, our Lord, the restoration of our heritage. All these things have to come back. We have to remember all these things, to wake up and be ourselves again, to return to being the princes of the power.
Hey, what does it mean to educate?
To draw from within.
So that meant that we had to be educated in order for us to return. In order for us to be returned as a nation, we had to be educated. And it took for men of the Holy Spirit to be able to enlighten and stir up their minds by the scriptures, the breakdowns. Going back to Jeremiah 3 and 15, I have a set up pastors that shall feed according to mine heart, that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. The Lord set those men up, man. All right. The prophets was gonna always resurface. With every empire, the Lord was always gonna raise his prophets up. Man.
It always had a purpose.
It always happened. And we're in that time now. That's why I said to Daniel, he told Daniel, shut up the words in the book, all right, until the time of the end, and that he was gonna basically seal the book. But he said, means gonna go to and fro, and now shall be increased in the end. And that's why we're back in that. That's how you know we at the end of Esau's world. Going back to 2nd Ezra 6, how that when his world begin to vanish away, the Lord's going to basically give us those tokens. And the book shall be open before the firmament, and we shall all see together. Now the truth that had been without fruit is now being declared.
That's right.
Okay, now we know who we are, now we know who Esau is, man. Okay? Hey, that's an act of power, man. That's miraculous that this was able to occur this way, man. You know, the Lord having to redeem us out of this dead state. You know.
It's looking like some guilty.
Hey, man.
Look back like y'all was on.
Hey, man.
I had to come to Vegas for this.
Hey, and I'm gonna say this. Yeah, we may not have the power to do the same miracles that the apostles were doing during the time of the Acts. Yet, but what we've done so far is an act of power in itself.
What's by the word?
Get Micah 3 and 8 real quick.
And the miracle, racing,
because we're speaking things to existence. The things that which really it was already spoken, it was already declared from the beginning. But the fact that we're speaking it again, and now these people are they're beginning to see it. That's actual power, man. Because it takes the spirit for you to prophesy. Okay, you can't prophesy without the spirit. you got to have the Spirit on you to be able to prophesy. And through all this prophesying for these many years, look at the flock. Look at the growing numbers. Everybody's abandoning the Christian church. That shit is being abandoned. That shit is getting played out now.
That numbers is dwindling like Esau's, man.
Yeah. They're going to turn a lot of these church buildings into hotels and motels.
I know some of these mega churches. They already got built like them.
You might as well just buy them out and use it to make money.
Faithful Century Hotels.
You know? Because ain't nobody going in them church houses like that no more, man.
It's Micah chapter 3, verse 8. But truly, I am full of power by the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and of the judgment and of the might, to declare unto Jacob his transgressions, and to Israel his sins.
Hey, and that's what we're out here doing, right? We're out here teaching our people to repent. We rebuking them so that they may repent and fear and come back and return with the full assurance of heart. You know? Giving warning to Israel. Hey, that's by the power of the Spirit.
Right. We're watchmen.
We're the Lord's watchmen, man. Okay? So we have power on a smaller scale, but hey, the Lord's going to increase that power. So where eventually we are going to be doing with the apostles were doing. The fact that Esau is he's basically showing us what he's doing with the media right now, with demonizing us, that he's right around the corner. He's about to try to come and attack us. You don't think the Most High is going to intervene and give his men power? The fact that we just had a blood moon, and then right after that, this situation in DC occurs, and now all of a sudden there's an all-out war against the black Hebrew Israelites.
We're not black.
So-called. Yeah, so-called.
Yeah, Esau, Esau get that soundbite.
Well, that's the buzzword.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's flashing on the screen.
Yeah,
but we know this because the Lord sends those signs for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, a blood moon. And then this happens, and then all of a sudden, we're being demonized. Now, people are going to be issuing threats. People are going to be walking up on the camps. You got Edomites on the comment board saying those black coat, that black hate, they need to be arrested for terroristic threats. You know, so that they're building that case so they can come against us. You don't think that the Most High is going to give his men that power, man?
He's gonna show us.
Hey, Salakia, we just had a Purim. During Purim, what happened? We was captive under the Medo-Persian Empire, the Persian Empire in particular, and you had Haman, which was an Edomite, Amalekite. This motherfucker was trying to get Jacob slaughtered. He was trying to get the Jews slaughtered, man. And he basically sent letters to the king how that, this nation, they basically live contrary to your laws. They live in opposition of your kingdom. So we need to do something about this. And he was hoping that the king would take heed to that letter so that the king could basically exterminate the Jews, man.
Yeah, he didn't want us to build our temple. He said they built their temple. They know when we built our temple, we went there to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Came back and overthrew the country.
Yeah,
because he himself wanted to be worshipped.
Yeah.
And he got pissed off that Mordecai didn't bow to it, and he didn't have respect for him. So that's why he wanted to get Mordecai killed. But it backfired on him, man. Matter of fact, since we mentioned it, let's go to Esther, the 3rd chapter.
Hosea 6:5. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets, I have slain them by the words of my mouth.
You I believe, is chopped down.
Yeah.
Like an axe. When you're cutting down a tree.
You down a tree or something?
Yeah.
I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth.
Yeah, he's getting annihilated, man. All right, he's getting spiritually mutilated. It's hurting him. It's cutting him to his soul. That's why it tells you in Thessalonians how the Lord said He's going to consume him with the spirit of His mouth. He's doing it through us. And because of us being boldly out here doing what we're doing, they consider that an opposition, basically like a rebellion. All right, I forget who said it, but the saying goes, in the time of universal deceit, truth is an act of revolution. It's a revolutionary act. I forgot who said that.
Arthur Orwell.
George Orwell.
Yeah.
1984.
Yeah, and that's true. Because basically, if we prophesy against this kingdom, then yes, we are rebelling against it. The fact that we're coming together and we're excluding everybody else, you can't be a part of this temple. This is for Israelites only. They're gonna take that like, oh, well, these guys, they're rebelling against our kingdom.
Yeah, they're racist.
They're forming something within our society, and they're saying that we can't be a part of it. We got to put a stop to that. You know. So back then, you know, going back to the time of Esther, you know, that's what happened, man. Because you know, the Jews they kept their customs in the land, and Esau showing you once again that he always had that perpetual hatred for Israel every time. So get that in account in Esther 3 a certain time. Yeah, you can start at the top. I'm preaching the scriptures, the Holy Bible. Go ahead, man.
This is all this like the 12 tribes of Israel. I feel like it's different.
Huh?
I see that your regular Bible, but all this other stuff. What's it all about?
Are you talking about the signs or?
Yeah, I feel like you have to talk about something a little bit more now.
Yeah, all of this is written in the scriptures.
All of this relates to the scriptures.
The RFID children.
No. It's just according to Bible prophecy. These are the things that are going to occur according to the Bible. Hey,
He's fulfilling prophecy.
he's doing a wonderful job. Basically, because what he's doing right now, it's going to play into prophecy how America is going to basically be destroyed. Trump is going to lead America into destruction.
Can I say this? And when America is destroyed is when we get free from this captivity and get to rule the world in righteousness under our Lord.
Right now.
You don't feel like you're captive?
Can you go to another country without a passport? You captive. Because you got to have
Can I go?
without
Hey, if he shut on the 15th, if he shut this the government back down, you can't go.
You can't go if you don't have your passport.
What?
You can't go to another country. You can't get on
You can't drive with your own car without a license. Without their own paper. That's your fault.
That's like, remember in slavery time when you had to go to another plantation, you needed a pass. What is it? Walking papers or something like that. The same thing as that.
Slave patrol.
Slave patrol.
Highway.
Yeah.
That's like the law of the land, though.
Yeah.
No, we have to agree with it now, but it ain't righteous. It's not the right thing.
So
That don't make it right because it's the law of the land.
I just want to throw something out there. I want to see what you guys think about this one. So, I mean, but if there was no police, right? Who's gonna fucking govern shit? You know? Because you know, just like I know niggas don't know how to act sometimes. White people don't know how to act sometimes. Asian people don't know how to act sometimes.
Right.
You gotta have some type of standards so people know, hey, I can't do this shit because they gotta protect you. They gotta protect me.
You said it, but you said it. We're supposed to be policing ourselves to where we just do the right thing.
Yeah, but that's
No, that's saying that's what's happening in society. That's what it's supposed to be.
All right, think about it like this. Back in the days when people, nights and shit, right? Back when there was too much law. Pretty much, if you offended me and I was bigger than you, I could fucking kill you pretty much because you offended my honor. And ain't no one gonna do nothing because I'm bigger than everybody. And I got a big ass arm known for swording or whatever, right?
Right.
Or if you say that, but that's kind of like back there.
There was righteous in the when we're talking about there were righteous laws that we live by. So if you broke one of these laws, if we were living by the laws of the Bible, then there was a judgment for it.
And God would execute that on you.
Exactly.
But with that mindset though, that'll be different. If I have kids, I let my kids do whatever the hell they want.
Right. Right. But you control your kids. This government, they're not your parents. You're supposed to be taught the right ways, and there should be a consequence when you break them. It should be.
But then the same thing would be if you break the law, there should be a consequence.
Absolutely.
I don't know what that consequence should be.
Right. But at least it should be fair all across the board.
Agree.
And it's not.
It's not.
Do you think it's righteous for a someone that say has a small amount of weed, they go to jail for 5 years, but a pedophile gets out in less than a year.
I don't think that's true. I don't think
But that's the society. That's how the society governs its laws.
But that's a difference. Some laws are unfair versus there should be no laws at all.
Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
We should have had our own king that was one of our people to rule over us, not to have another nation rule over us that don't understand our people. So-called white men don't understand our people to be ruling over us. The African man don't understand our people to be ruling over us. The Asian man don't. None of these other Arab, none of them.
Then who do?
Our own people, these people on the side, should be ruling over us. Particularly the Most High God.
So Judah are Negroes, Benjamin are Indians. Is that what that is? Like it's a straight cross?
West Indies.
Caribbean islands.
So,
and parts of South America, because you got Guyana.
so if I look at this crap, so Judah, Benjamin, and Levi are all within the same
Kingdom.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
the
our
southern
southern
kingdom.
kingdom, darker tribes.
But is the theory that one nationality is greater than the other nationality based on the nationality? Or is it
Yes.
just righteous?
We're gonna get
righteousness
scriptures.
theory?
We'll get that in Deuteronomy 4.
So you're saying some nationality. So what is the most?
Hold on, we're gonna deal with one at a time.
Alright, fair.
Just to have order.
Fair. We can't all be talking at the same time, right?
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
So these are neighbors and brothers.
Yeah, so basically, according to that law, if you going out and vote for these presidents, you violating that scripture. Because these presidents are. Is Trump your people? Is he your neighbor? No, I'm just making an example. When our people go and put their trust in the system, they vote for these heathens to reign up over them. They're in violation of the law because we're supposed to have our own that actually understands us. You rather have a man amongst your nation or that went to school with you that understands the conditions of your community. They know the people in your community. You know, they have a good understanding report amongst the people. You want that kind of man, a man that relates to you to rule up over you, to have your best interests, your people, your brother.
I can understand that point of view.
Wait, let me use what you used earlier. Your kids, you want another man raising your kids, or are you gonna raise your kids better than any other man? That's the same thing.
I can understand that point of view, but then when you look at it from the scale of the nation as a whole, how does one person understand the whole?
He's saying so for each people. So like Judah's would be.
No. It's one for all 12.
Oh, okay. So it would
One
be
for all 12.
one true.
That's why we have who the Bible calls, or the world calls Jesus Christ, because he understands everybody. He comes from the Heavenly Father. Who understood everybody.
This is the image that they put forth, they put out there.
Don't you feel better with this ruling over you than that?
I don't know. I gotta see his character. I like the picture.
His character.
Hold on. His character. Hold on, bro. His character resulted in this.
Talking about the right one.
We talking about his character.
But his character won't let that happen to you.
His character won't let that happen. He's coming back to deliver us from those
definitely
people.
not my plan to end up that way.
Right. I'm saying he wouldn't let that happen to us.
Man.
All right.
All right, man. Let's get back into the.
Let's go back to
they've been in America too long. America too long. Go ahead.
It's Esther chapter 3 verse 1. And after these things did King Ahasuerus promote.
Jake has a 3-minute attention span, bro. Like, if you don't get it to him in 3 minutes, it's gone.
Ahasuerus. And after these things,
Ahasuerus,
which is
Xerxes.
The king Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him. And
Agagite. that goes back to Agag, the Amalekite. All right, which is the Edomite. Okay, go ahead.
And advanced him and set his seat above all princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gates bowed and reverence Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did he reverence.
He had no respect for that governor. Okay, because Haman was high up in the Persian Empire, man. He had an actual status, a position. Okay,
he had like a governing seat.
He had a governing seat within that, that's where the king of Persia's. That's where they mistake. That was what their mistake was, allowing the devil to come up in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Who took him down?
Hey, matter of fact, was that in I think it's back in Ecclesiasticus 12, where it says he will see
He was crouching. Like
he said Haman, a devil. He set him by it. Yeah. He gave him position within his kingdom. Yeah. And then what happened? The Persians fell to the Edomites.
Yeah.
So-called Greece.
Yeah, I got you. Sirach chapter 12, verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, which is what he was doing, lest he seek to take thy seat. Yeah. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten up with a serpent, or such as come nigh wild beast? Nobody's gonna pity you because you put yourself in position for that to happen to you.
Yeah. If those Persians, if they was wise, they would have did what the Lord commanded Saul to do. They wouldn't have allowed no position for these devils, man.
That's why you can't have no Edomites in the kingdom after that 1,000 years. Because they'll fuck up everything, right? They'll try to
one Edomite, mess it all up.
What was it? One apple. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did reverence. Then the king's servant, which were in the king's gates, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
So this is the precept of men and shit. Why are you breaking the commandment? You're supposed to bow before Haman. You know, because Haman, you know, the pride of Esau being lifted up. He think he's the Most High himself. He's supposed to worship him. All right. So he felt disrespected by Mordecai, man. Right? Go ahead.
Now it came to pass when they spoke daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew.
Yeah, I'm an Israelite, man. I got my God that I serve. I'm not finna worship no damn kite. You know?
And this same thing happened during the time of Daniel, when they wanted them to bow. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did reverence, then was Haman full of wrath, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone.
Hey, if as long as Esau don't see us bowing to him like the rest of Jake, or these defeated ass, self-hated Negroes that walk hand in hand with this devil, those are the ones that he feel as a threat. Those are the ones that he feel would pose a threat to his society, his kingdom. And that's why his focus is on us so much.
And they pose a threat because if the mass people see us not bowing down to Esau, they may think to rebel also. And Esau don't want that.
Hey, even when you deal with how the beast shall cause whosoever would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You know, showing you that, hey, Haman, he's the descendant of that beast. All right? And these devils, if you don't comply to the New World Order, they're going to want you dead, man. Right? And this ministry opposes this system.
Right.
So he's going to demonize it.
That's right.
Go ahead, Al.
Verse 6, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had shown him the people of Mordecai, wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews.
He said, you know what, because this one Negro did this, I want to exterminate all these niggas. I want to get rid of all of them now. You know? And he know that because he's the right hand man of the king, that whatever he decrees, the king is gonna be down with it. So he's gonna use his political power, his sovereign power, to be able to execute that hatred against Judah.
Are y'all doing a video? I was gonna ask y'all to pray for me. It's all good.
Hey. All right, go ahead.
For they had shown him the people of Mordecai, wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus. How you say it? Ahasuerus. Salah. Even the people, Xerxes.
Yeah, just say Xerxes. Yeah.
And the people.
That's another name for it.
That's the way we run in Greek, right?
Well, yeah.
Even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of the king Ahasuerus, they cast that it is the lot before Haman.
Which means lot, you know. So he tried to cast that lot upon us that we would be exterminated. But the lot ended up falling on his ass. All right. Hey, let him be taken in the device that he imagined.
Before that is the lot before Haman, from day to day and from month to month, and to the 12th month is the month of Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed.
There was a scattered people abroad. I showed you that every time we were going into captivity, that's how we became dispersed. Through the Assyrian Empire to the Neo-Babylonian Empire, and then now we are dealing with the Persian Empire. So we were scattered. Slavery is what scatters of people, man. All right? That's why we're scattered even to this day. Go ahead.
And a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdoms. And their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws.
Their laws are different. Don't that sound familiar? Just like going to the time of the Greeks. You was caught circumcising or keeping the Sabbath or whatever, you had to get put to death, man.
And some of those jakes was getting put to death. They said it's better to eat pork than to speak Greek during those times. You know, the people that stood up to the Greeks. All right.
Somebody get Wisdom of Solomon too real quick. Because, hey, we get persecuted because we're standing for the law of the Most High. Mm-hmm. You know, when they capture, they want to put the clips out there of us saying that homosexuals should be put to death. That's in the law. But hey, that law goes against your society. Your law actually upholds homosexuals. It protects them. The laws of the scriptures say you're supposed to put them to death. So of course we're gonna be as that opposition. You okay? Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon, second chapter. No, not the top, but where it says that. Just read where you at while you look for it. Yeah, it might be hard. That's more likely hard.
And their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
It's not for the king's profit to suffer them. They're going against your rules and regulations. All right, your decrees. They living separately. They're doing their own thing. They live a certain different manner of life. So it wouldn't serve you to suffer them. You should get rid of them. They're opposition to your society. Just like the Israelites right now, we're considered a threat. We're considered extremists for basically upholding the righteous laws of the Most High. Verse 12.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 12. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
Exactly.
Hey, let's get rid of the righteous because they're in the way of what we want to do, where we want to live.
Let's get rid of these righteous men because they always going to oppose our laws, our decrees we push out.
Like you said, that goes directly to what we're doing right now. Hey, it's no joke. I call that the YOLO chapter. And that's exactly the mind state that these people have today that we're defeating through the word of Yahweh. We're telling you, no, you're going to have to pay for this in this life or the next. You're going to have to pay for it though.
And he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us.
Hey, Salaki, but when you go in, like in the military or in the hood even, or in the police force, they want everybody in on the same side. Somebody that speaks up against their own, they don't like that. They want you either, they want your hands dirty in the situation as well, or they don't like you. They can't trust you. Yep. That's just how they look at the righteous men.
He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressions of our education.
Yeah, show them their wickedness, man.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, man. And they're annoyed by the fact that the Lord gave us the spirit to cast down these strongholds that they've used to further reign and imperialize, okay, to maintain their global agenda. You know? We're pulling down strongholds, man. And what would it also say that bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience, you know, of Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, that's what we represent out here. So going back to this time, it was no different, man. We wanted to stay separate. The Lord told us to be holy as I'm holy. Don't do after the nations, man. All right? They understood if we're going to have a king, it should be among our brethren. We ain't finna bow down to this kite, man. The kites are our enemies. The Lord said he would have war with Amalek forever, man.
And that's where that word kite comes from, Amalekite. So don't try to take it as an anti-Semitic term. Like the word they're Semites too, or Shemites. You just impersonating the actual Shemite that we are, the Israelites. You're a Hebrew Edomite.
Yeah, the East Indians are Shemites. Yep. The Chinese and the Japanese are Shemites.
Yep. So is Arabs.
The East Indians. You know, the Arabs, they're Shemites, man.
Yep. Hebrew Ishmaelites. You know?
Hebrew Moabites.
Yep.
They don't got the promises though. So don't get it twisted. Or back in Esther chapter 3, verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries.
They're gonna put a bounty.
Yep.
You think they're gonna try to put a bounty up for us too?
Same thing in Acts.
Yeah, they're doing that already on YouTube. What's that thing called? The YouTube.
GMS, YouTube.
Well, you can click on. You can police the. YouTube.
Yeah,
I forgot what it's called.
YouTube. I just read an article. YouTube's trying to put a crackdown on all conspiracy, so-called conspiracy theory videos.
Anything that questions false flags.
Or what they deem fake news.
Yep.
All right, come on. Verse 10, and the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy.
And our enemy. We ain't finna bow to our enemy, man. But of course, the enemy got to show himself. He got to show his true colors, because he wanted us to bow. He wanted Mordecai to bow before him, and now that he got disrespected, he's not being worshipped now. Now he wants to get them killed. So, I mean, the reason why I'm going into this is because we just had the feast, remembering of the Purim, and then right after that we just had a blood moon. So maybe Esau is going to try to come after us. We don't know, but those are signs.
And he's supposed to gotta come. He's coming.
During this time, he tried to get us killed off back then. You know, and they put off the same sentiment that they were doing against the Jews back then. Oh, these dudes, they're worshiping their own laws. You know, they got a problem with America. They said America's going to be destroyed. You know, so that's what we're happening right now. So we're going to be persecuted, and then eventually we're going to be led to the prisons.
Revelations 3 and 2.
You ain't got to get it right now, you know. I don't know if there's more on that, but if not, go to the one in the edition of Esther. Go to the 13th chapter. The edition of Esther. Real quick. 13. You there? Yeah, you can start at the top.
This edition of Esther, chapter 13 and 1. The copy of the letters was this: the great king Artaxerxes writeth these things to the princes and governors that were under him from India unto Ethiopia, and in 127 provinces. After that I became Lord over many nations, and have dominion over the whole world, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, but carrying myself always with equity and mildness. I purpose to settle my subjects continually in a quiet life, and making my kingdom peaceable and open for passages to the uttermost coast, to renew peace, which is desired of all men. Now when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, Haman, it says Haman. Haman, Haman said, devil, that excelled in wisdom among us, and was approved for his constant good will and steadfast fidelity. And I had the honor of the second place in the kingdom, declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world they were scattered a certain malicious people.
So now he's getting down to the Israelites, the black, which we're not black, but that same derogatory term.
And he said malicious.
He said it maliciously, man. Now look, now see how he's about to paint Israel back then. Right. The Judah in particular. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Go ahead.
Malicious people that had laws contrary to all nations.
So these are malicious people. So they have the intent to be injurious to people. All right, to incite harm against people. They're practicing under laws that is contrary to the law of the land. Right? Go ahead.
And continually despise the commandments of the kings,
just like we despise the laws of this world. Okay, we hate the laws of this world, man. This law for when you and your wife is divorced, There's law that you got to pay alimony and child support.
Yeah.
But according to our law, she went out free without money.
Or the kids.
And the children, because that's your inheritance. You know? The laws are just totally just contrary, man. You know? You're not supposed to, according to our law, you're not supposed to hold wages until the following day. The sun's not supposed to go down and your worker didn't get paid. But in this society, the law is you got to get paid every week or every other week. Bi-weekly.
Well, they got the law where after 7 years, you're supposed to forgive debt. Esau will have you in debt for the rest of your whole life.
I've been out of college a long time. That's all I'm gonna say.
So as the uniting of our kingdoms honorably intended by us cannot go forward. Seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in oppression unto all men.
Read that again.
Seeing that we understand that this people alone is continually in oppositions like it. Opposition, opposition unto all men.
They're in opposition to all men. So hey, what does that sound like? Oh, those Hebrew Israelites out there, they saying that everybody's gonna serve in captivity under them. They're saying that they're gonna rule over everybody. They're saying that their race is superior than every other nation. Well, it's according to our book, according to the law,
According to prophecy.
okay? Isn't that a lie? You know? But that's how they feeling right now. The same way this devil felt the need to pin this down in a letter to the king to try to get rid of us, man. Go ahead, bro.
Differing in the strange manner of their laws and evil affected to our state.
You said what? What did it say? Shalom. Shalom. Go ahead,
And evil affected to our state, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. Therefore we have command that all they that are signified in writing unto you by Haman, who is ordained over the affairs and that was it, huh? And who is ordained over the affairs and is next unto us, shall all with their wives and their children be utterly destroyed by the sword of their enemies without all mercy and pity, the 14th day of the 12th month, Adar of his present year, that they who of old and now are more malicious may in one day with violence go into the...
And that's why they don't like it. That's why everybody else is docile in this society right now. But the men of the Lord speak boldly with testosterone and masculinity. That's the difference. So they can easily identify because we speak in the spirit that they're not accustomed to anymore.
The righteous man standing great boldness.
Yep.
You know, and we're doing that. So basically, we're that opposition. But they're gonna paint it as if what we're doing is malicious. You see how he was trying to demonize Jake?
Yeah.
Trying to paint a certain narrative about Jake so he could get the king to consider like, oh wow, so these guys talking about what? They're gonna do something evil to my kingdom?
You know, Esau was lying his ass off.
Esau was he was you know how Esau do it, man? You know? This man's he's a master manipulator, man. A devil, a deceiver, man. False accuser.
May in one day with violence go into the grave, so ever hereafter cause our affairs to be well settled and without trouble.
Yep. That's pretty much it, man. So basically he ordained for the tribes, the three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, to basically be destroyed in a violent manner, man. Which the judgment ended up being to be hung on the gallows.
Yep.
You know, basically to get lynched. All right, but y'all that's familiar with, if you read the story, the history, if I should say,
God.
the Most High basically set his ass in his own snare. To where him and his family, they ended up getting hung on the gallows. The same gallows that they had built for the Israelites, man.
Right. Kind, just like in the time of Daniel, when what was the Nebuchadnezzar? He threw them in the furnace and their families. Yeah. When the lions did, yeah.
Yeah, man. So hey, you see that same energy, the same scenarios are playing out even in this day. Okay? And that's why that devil was being slick by trying to, when he was talking to that Israelite, he kept on saying, your group, which their agenda is to group us all to group us all as one. That's part of their propaganda, man. So that when the mass persecution happens and Esau comes for us, he gonna go after everybody. He don't care what group you fall up under, man. You know, he's gonna have the green light to go after all you Israelites, man. Okay, and then they know that the Northern Kingdom is associated with us, so they gonna come for y'all too. Okay. That was pretty much it. If y'all got something else.
Let's kind of go back where we were talking about with that Issacharite was up here. So about the Lord pouring out his spirit on all flesh. And we're living in those times where this truth is out there. Yeah. With the help of Esau through his media, he deems to destroy us with his media, but he's doing nothing but pushing further in our cause. You know? Right. This is Joel chapter 2 and 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass, afterward I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old man shall dream dreams, and your young man shall see visions.
And that's been happening. Brothers are having dreams and visions. All right, the brothers been having dreams about spiritual power, about the chariots, about martial law, women having dreams and visions. You know, one brother in particular in the UK, his wife had a dream about the kingdom, man. You know? So that's how you know we in that time.
Gone.
So the Lord is pouring out a spirit upon us to see these things and to come out here and actually prophesy about it. Yeah. And then as these things are happening, the Lord's going to also be showing us the signs in the heavens to indicate that we're getting closer to our salvation. You know?
Those chariot sightings, that's a big deal. Because the chariots are not of this world. And when you see those chariots, the men of the Lord, the hope for the elect, you're going to know, man, it's time. It's that time. And these other people are going to bug out. Our people too. Like, oh, it's aliens. You know, run for cover. You know? This is beautiful times that we're living in. All right, verse 29. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth.
Show wonders in the heavens and the earth. See, Esau, he's not a spiritual thinking man. You should consider what all these different weird sightings that you're seeing in the sky. All right, like you're just seeing just way out shit that you can't even comprehend.
Like that polar vortex that's coming.
These type of things are happening, and you still focus on us. You know, you're basically we're prophesying against you, and you're being distracted, minding us, while the Lord is showing us, hey, Y'all see these signs?
Kind.
I'm finna come and deliver y'all from this devil. He doesn't see that I'm actually approaching. I'm getting ready to visit this devil. That's what them signs are in the heavens for.
That's right, brother.
We know that. So
Esau ain't paying attention. I mean, he sees it,
But
he'll put it out there like
blame
these
it on
things are
God.
happening.
And he'll try to have an explanation, a scientific explanation for it.
Yeah, global warming.
Yeah.
You know, Mother Nature. Nah, man, these are signs that the Lord's getting ready to come and put a foot in your ass.
That's right.
Okay? He's coming back to redeem his elect, man. Go ahead, bro.
And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke.
And we just had that recent blood moon. And it was spiritual how right after that, well, really, actually, that incident happened right before it. We got to see it go on Purim. And then we got to see it on mainstream media the day of the eclipse. Okay? That happened all together. That was all spiritual, man. Okay? We getting close, Akim.
Kind.
Right.
Now is not the time to lose hope. Okay? Don't lose hope, man. When this devil do come for us and persecute us, man, don't fall away from the hope, man.
Hey,
Scripture say, be of good cheer.
the Hunger Games Catching Fire was on earlier, right? And he said, yeah, I've seen it before, and there's one thing that's different. Like, what's that? He said, hope. We got hope now, man.
Prison
Hope
is
is one of
it?
the most powerful things ever. Hey, in the movie Superman, Man of Steel, that S meant hope, which we're the Kal-Els, we're the Supermen. Okay, we have to have hope that Yahweh is going to reward us with that if we stay diligent in faith and it works.
That's right. Yeah, man, don't fall from the hope, man. Don't be so far removed from the hope of the gospel.
Right.
All right, what does it mean to hope? It means to expect. Expectation as the end result of something. All right? Because if you lose hope, then basically you can't endure, you didn't endure patience. Which, in order for you to have patience, you have to suffer through something. So, and through suffering brings what? Through tribulation bringeth patience. Through patience bringeth forth experience. And experience hope. So don't fall
Make you
from.
not ashamed. I didn't be through.
For we are saved by hope. Okay? Prisoners of hope.
Hey, there's no better prisoner to be than a prisoner of hope.
Huh.
You know, to expect something good to be coming.
I mean, if we already, because like I said in Romans, if our hope be seen, for what is hope if it's already seen? The Lord already showing the signs, which was already biblical. So the Lord is already showing that his words are faithful and true. So if we can expect those things and those things are following through, then why not the rest of the words that he spoke to us? He's not a man that he should lie, man. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 31, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come.
Hey, and so that means that we getting close, man. You know, we getting close. And you know what? Let's say if the Lord did return in 2019. That doesn't make that 400-year prophecy valid or true.
Because those people that believe that 400-year prophecy, they don't believe in what we believe in.
They ain't
ready to leave Babylon.
Yeah.
That's why the other apostles been picking at them pro-black niggas, them black unconscious niggas. They ain't talking about going back to Ghana, man. They ain't talking about getting they tickets ready, their itineraries to have a mass exodus to go back over there to Ghana, man. Them niggas gonna stay their ass right here in Babylon, man.
If it was Esau, would shoot them planes down, man.
Yeah, why didn't get them? They all together, get them.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. And we've been here longer than 400 years.
Kind.
It's like 600 years.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to start up at verse 8. It said, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Well, that's happening now. That's what the Lord said. So if they hated me, then they will also hate you. You know, we're gonna be hated of all men for His name's sake. So, hey, I encourage NBC, you know, CNN, Fox, MSNBC. I encourage them to keep doing what they're doing, man.
Please do.
Okay. Keep doing what you're doing, man. We love it. And if y'all come to us with cameras and microphones, we just gonna cut you with the scriptures. And then we gonna put you on trial on your own network.
God.
Yeah. He ain't gonna edit. They gonna edit the shit out that. They'll put us on there.
They just gonna be like, I ain't putting this on.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
It says, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Verse 14, it says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
That's the spirit that the scripture came back out again. Because we in that time, man. All the elect has to be sealed before the Lord begins His wrath, man. All right? He's going to start His judgment with the 2/3, with the house. All right? He's going to go through the midst of Jerusalem and smite. But he got the angels that's going to be also putting that mark in their foreheads, man, so that they can be safe from the wrath, man. Okay? Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, going back to four winds until my servants be sealed in their foreheads, man. They all got to learn the new song. Once all of them got it perfected, it's complete. The house is complete. Okay? Go ahead, Al.
It says, for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come. Okay? So right now, the word is going out. The Lord's showing us the signs. The nations, particularly Esau, all right, he's beginning to get that wrath, you know, that you read about in Revelation 12. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. All that, we all seeing it tie in together. It's all starting to transpire. Now we're beginning to see it. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 3. All right. The vision is yet for a appointed time to wait for it and shall not tarry. Okay, it shall speak and not lie. Okay, now we're seeing it. Go ahead.
So, and when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by
the besieging, which that goes back to what happened in 70 AD. Where we're finna go through that again, but this is gonna be one last time. Okay? And it's gonna be brutal too, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be brutal. When you read about the history of what happened back then,
Michael gonna have to stand up.
Michael gonna have to come for us this time, man. Esau, he got weapons back in. He got bombs now. The Romans didn't have bombs. They didn't have drones. They didn't have machine guns.
Armored vehicles.
Armored vehicles. They didn't have nothing. They didn't have that.
Microwave guns. You know, they got guns to make you vomit. You know, weapons.
They shoot like sound waves and stuff.
Yeah.
Plasma guns.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Spoken of by the prophet, by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. I'm gonna jump down. Verse 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened."
Because the Lord's going to come back. He even told John that, hey, I cometh quickly. Behold, I come quickly. So basically, when this thing starts to really go out, when this thing starts to really pop off, and the elect start to finally get persecuted, and they get found in the hands of that dragon, that's when the Lord's going to intervene. Okay? The Lord's going to just appear. He's just going to come down. Why they think that they're going to be able to defeat the Lord's prophets? That's when the Lord's gonna show up.
Video, bro, from what was that in South America? What was that Brazil? Bro, that showed that one that small one. I was like, damn, that's a dope man. And then it went back and like, then a big one popped up. Like, oh hell,
The spirit.
yeah, like, woo, man, like, I don't care if that was a movie. It just better gave me a visual on what the chariots can actually do, and I fully believe in that. I believe that that's gonna happen because the scriptures say it.
Don't it say in Isaiah, was that 42? As the birds flyeth, then shall the coming of the Lord. You know, he's gonna come from on high, man. He's gonna descend down on the devils, man. Okay, and he's gonna find you with his
Finding the man in this.
yeah. We gonna be found in your possession and he's gonna slay your ass, man.
That's according to the Bible. Verse 29, it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall, an eclipse, by the way, the moon not giving her light. It says, and the stars shall fall from heaven and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
Well, it's talking about the day of the Lord. Actually, the sky is going to be blocked out. The chariots is going to come and invade the sky and deliver the elect. And then you're going to have all those missiles that's going to be will come down. You know, it's going to be a lot of smoke going up. It's going to black out the lights of the firmament.
That's why I'm reading this, because this is still that time. That part of it hasn't unfolded quite yet, but this could happen in this year, in the space of a couple months.
We're not even in February yet. And look at everything that's happening.
Bro.
Man,
Damn.
That government shut down.
18 went fast.
That government shut down, man. Pay attention to that, man.
Yeah.
Is that because really the previous shutdown, it was temporary, but it was really used as a prelude for what they're really plotting on doing. It was 30
Did you give you the emergency government when he assumes all power? Bro.
Nope. Your constitution and your rights are void. Gone.
Oh, by the way, Obama made sure that it was signed away perfectly to get his devil complete power over everything. Over you, your possessions, your goods, the power, the telecommunications, everything. Natural resources, everything.
Yeah. They're gonna shut this shit down, man.
35 days was a shutdown. Gonna give you a
3 week
relief, and then they're gonna be right back on your ass.
Hotter, heavy.
Yeah. And you can shut this shit down like this was a partial.
And you know what?
You could do a real they could just a full shutdown, like completely.
But you know what? I don't even.
Where everybody is gonna be affected by it.
Yeah. And it may not even go for 3 weeks. He might get mad and say, you know what?
Y'all ain't gonna
do shit. Hey, 2 weeks, a week. You know, Esau is always known to break his covenants.
Yeah, his word.
Break his word.
Kind of.
Yeah. Hey, that's fucked up.
It's true, though.
That's like when you just you let a dog go without food for a day, and then you finally put a dog put his bowl right in front of him. Put a little food in there and let him eat a little, just for a little bit, but then in like 3 seconds, kick the ball away and just snatch it back away. That's what the devil is doing with you, man. Yeah. And he wanted to see how y'all was gonna react to this initial partial shutdown.
Are you gonna growl like that dog and fight for that ball, or are you gonna just let him take the ball?
It was a process of testing out the problem, reaction, solution. That's what this government shutdown was about.
And what Jake showed him is, it got you. You had the nigga woman on there begging Trump, please open the government back up. And it was Jake's on there. And so they're like, oh, we got it. We got it right where we want it. They ready.
Yeah, so they know how you people gonna react, so they could just come to 15th. They already know y'all gonna it's the same whining that y'all was just doing.
Yep.
All right, and they just gonna shut shit down, man, and you know.
But that's what they want.
And they could bring the chip just like that.
Yeah. Because they know after this shutdown, It's gonna get, it may get physical out here in these streets. Yeah.
We'll get physical.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to. It's gotta get physical at some point. We know it's real. It's gotta happen.
Come to protest.
Seditions among
Sedition,
them, invading one another. They should not
Lack
regard
of
their
bread.
kings or princes.
Yeah.
You know, tribulation. Hey, it can happen, man. You know, but the elect, they're gonna be saved out of this.
That's right.
Okay. So, like I said, man, hey, brothers, don't lose hope, man. Stay in the faith, man. Stay rooted and grounded in His faith. Get built up, man. Know that the Lord's gonna preserve us through this tribulation, man. And we're gonna make it out of here. We already got the victory, man.
That's right.
Okay?
It's already written.
It's already written, man. All right? The game is rigged. Okay? We just waiting on the buzzer, man.
This is like the
Just
Harlem
keep playing.
Globetrotter game.
Just keep
We gonna
playing.
win. Care how close the score looks.
Come on, man. You know, so that's pretty much it. You know, y'all got nothing else. All right, so we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna give all praise to Yahweh.